This chat group administrator really takes things seriously. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 151, Exit. Yuan Zishan always felt that he had a dream. A very cruel dream. The rain was pouring down, but it still couldn't cover the sharpness of the blade. Mingfei felt that his body was very heavy. Suddenly, the time around him stopped. Drops of water stayed in the air. No one could see this magical scene. Mingfei knew that his younger brother had come at this time. What are you doing here at this time? Lumings was wearing a black suit with a small white flower on his chest. The delicate little leather shoes kept tapping in the puddles and made a pleasant sound. Brother, Huang is not a simple mixed blood. Mingfei frowned. Do you think I will lose? No, brother, we will not lose. Never lose, and no one can make us lose. Mingfei looked at the stopped world. He knew it was a dream. What do you want to say? Lumings walked in front of Yuan Zishan. White fingers gently stroked his cheek. How hideous. It's as if all his beauty has been taken away. Now he wants to grasp the little bit of beauty left, but you, brother, stopped him. Mingfei would not give way, even if he had to be the bad guy. Brother, his dream is awakened, but what about brother's dream? Is brother's dream awakened too? Brother, will you be as hideous as him? Who is not a guinea pig of fate? Mingfei is also one of them. If he hadn't met Jiangnan, he might have followed his predetermined fate. He walked further and further on the lonely road, and finally walked onto the Iron Throne. Looking back, he was alone. Maybe. Lumings seemed to have heard the answer he wanted, and he smiled happily. But unlike him, brother, I will help you. I will help you take back all the beauty you have lost one by one. No one can take away our beauty. I'm the little devil who can accompany you forever. Lumings snapped his fingers lightly. Revoke. He revoked the kingship. Time resumed its flow. Yuan Zishan held the double blades and stepped hard. The speed was so fast that even the raindrops hitting him could only leave a blurry afterimage. One after another, human-shaped water shadows appeared behind Yuan Zishan. This was caused by the speed being too fast. Yuan Zishan's powerful sword skills, combined with the king's power of the word spirit, can kill any creature in his domain. When the two blades were about to penetrate Mingfei's body, Mingfei moved. Breath of the sun, fourth form phantom sun rainbow. Circles of flames enveloped everything. The phantoms that Yuan Zishan's double blades passed through. The same trick. But it was equally useful. When masters fight, a flaw means a life. But Yuan Zishan didn't understand. While Mingfei could move freely in the domain of the king's power, Mingfei has a good brother. His brother was spying on his brother, but at the same time, paved all the way for his brother. Mingfei waved the tang sword in his hand. As the knife fell, Yuan Zishan felt a heavy object hit his back, followed by a dizzy spell. Before he fainted, he tried to turn around and saw Mingfei behind him. Don't worry, I'm using the back of the knife. Mingfei sheathed the knife. Greed turned into a stream of light and entered Mingfei's sea of consciousness. The weapons refined by the cultivators can be stored in the sea of consciousness or in the elixir field. It is very convenient to use. Crow and Yaksha hurried forward and stood in front of Yuan Zishan. Is this enough? Mingfei looked up at the sky and said. Jiangnan's voice echoed in his ears. If the actor doesn't act well, he can only be given a lunchbox. Then Crow, Yaksha, and Yuan Zishan disappeared in the rain. Usugieri looked at the three people who disappeared and stood there in a daze. Let's go. Mingfei took out a black umbrella from the storage bag. The two walked on the street. Everyone felt heavy in their hearts as they watched the scenes on the screen. Usugiyu smiled, as if he was really watching a play. He had no feelings for this country and the underworld. Seeing the end of the Shiki-8 clan who had persecuted him, he was happy from the bottom of his heart. But Jiangnan interrupted him. What are you laughing at? The smile on Usugiyu's face froze, but he still replied. I believe everyone is happy to see the family that he once hated fall into such a state. Jiangnan nodded. If he saw his enemy in such a miserable state, he would also be happy. At this time, Usuji didn't know that the two brothers who were being cheated to death were his own sons. Jiangnan suddenly thought this was an interesting thing. What would happen if Usuji knew the truth at this time? The family that Usuji was born into was a very good family. If it weren't for the royal blood, they would be a happy family and live forever. The parents are harmonious and the family is friendly. Unfortunately, the fate of the emperor is very terrible. Yuan Zishan woke up at this time. He sat on the sofa with a blank look in his eyes. Yasha and Crow rarely quieted down at this time. Jiudmei brought him a bottle of prepared cocktail. Alcohol is a good thing. It can paralyze the brain and make people forget all their troubles for a short time. Jiangnan smiled at Yuan Zishan. Alas, seeing you so sad, I feel a little bored too. How about this? After all, I'm not a devil. I will tell you our good news to relieve the pressure in your heart. Yuan Zishan turned his head slightly. Jiangnan clapped his hands. Then please look at the big screen. The story begins during World War II. The protagonist of the story is a man named Usuji. Usuji was a little puzzled when looking at his own autobiography. He could not associate his relationship with Yuan Zishan at this time. Usuji was the head of the Usuji family, one of the 3 families in the Snake 8 families, and the Shadow Emperor. He has 1/4 Chinese ancestry, 1/4 French ancestry, from his mother Charlotte Chen, and 1/2 Japanese ancestry, from his father Usuji Hideo. The dragon blood ratio is extremely pure, and he has the blood of the White King. He has many identities. He has been a ramen chef, a part-time worker in a community church, a pastor, and a former Shadow Emperor. Usuji was one of the first people in the world to donate sperm for scientific research, and the donated samples flowed into the sample library established by the Germans. After World War II, they flowed into the Black Swan port of the Soviet Union, where they were thawed by Dr. Herzog and used to cultivate test tube babies. Usuji seed test tube baby number 1. Codename. His name is Minato Namikaze, a super hybrid who inherited the royal blood of his father Usuji. He later graduated from the 2003 advanced training class of Castle College, majoring in high energy physics. Director of the Executive Bureau of the Japanese branch of Castle College, head of the Minamoto family, and Amaterasu. Usuji seed test tube baby number 2. Codename. Minato Namikaze, the twin brother of codename created by the test tube experiment in Black Swan Port. His personality is very dependent on his brother. He is also a super hybrid who inherited royal blood. One of the 3 shadow emperors of the Snake 8 families, the Dragon King of the Fierce Ghosts, Susanoo. He is called a ghost, but he is actually an emperor. It was changed before. Herzog has shadow warriors, not clones. Chapter 152, Family. Anger's expression was very interesting. He didn't expect his old friend to be so dishonest. He said he would have no children, but he secretly gave birth to such an excellent pair of twins. Usuji's expression was also very interesting. The smile on his face had long disappeared. His father was willing to sacrifice himself to protect him and his mother. His mother was unfortunately killed in the end. Such a family is not good, but some people have been caught in the rain and know how to let others hold umbrellas. Usuji once thought that, if he had children, he would definitely protect them. But when he saw the truth at this time, he was so painful. How happy he was just now, how painful it is now. How could he not be angry when his 2 children were played like this? And his children have called a clown dad for so many years, but he, the real dad, was kept in the dark and knew nothing here. The story on the screen is still going on. Another person with a blood relationship with Usuji is playing. Test tube baby number 3. Codename. Usuji, the younger sister of the codename created by the test tube experiment in Black Swan Port. The character is very dependent on his brother Yuan Zishan. He is a brother and sister of Genji and Genji, and is called Tsukuyomi. His bloodline is unstable, prone to rampage, and he relies on the serum extracted from Deadpool's fetus to maintain his life. He is the most perfect host for the White King's holy relics, and is also the White King's container created by Herzog. The story ends here. But everything is clear. This can't be true. Usuji spoke with difficulty. If all this is true, then his fate is really too miserable. His father, mother, children, and daughter are also miserable. including his life. You are the last emperor of that period. Who do you think will inherit the royal blood of these super hybrids? Jiangnan gave him a correct answer without a doubt. Usuji stood up with a very gloomy face. Sure enough, the smile can be transferred. And Ji's smile at this time is so bright. It seems that he is celebrating his old friend and finding his own biological child. Damn old bastard, what are you laughing at? Usuji couldn't help but scold Ange. Ange still had a smile. At least your biological sons are still alive, right? Damn old bastard, at least they are better than you. You don't even have a son. Angus relaxed his shoulders. The smile on his face was still so provocative. At least better than someone. Your biological son has called someone dad for decades and he doesn't know it. I'm going to pick up a knife and chop Tachibana Masamune right now. What a bullshit. Genshin regained some vitality at this time. He stared at his father with disbelief. Dad? It was obviously the first time to use this name for this man, but the feeling of blood connection was very kind. This is family affection. Usuji was stunned. The former Shadow Emperor was excited at this time. Son, good son, they dare to bully you. Look at your dad to make the decision for you. Stab them to death. Usuji rolled up his sleeves and prepared to start. Looking at the excited Usuji, Genshin didn't know why his cold heart showed a little warmth. It turned out that he was not the ringing turtle of Pinter Island, nor was he Lonely George. He has never been alone. He has an obedient younger brother, a lovely younger sister, and a somewhat irritable old father. It turns out that his family has always been so complete. But why have they never been able to live happily together? It's all because of one person. Herzog. Everything is Herzog's fault. Okay. Don't get excited. This show is still going on. When it's over, you can do whatever you want. Now that father and son are meeting, I believe you have a lot to say. Jiangnan waved his hand to signal everyone to continue watching the big screen. Tachibana Masamune waited anxiously for news. Then an elite from the Snake 8 families rushed in a panic. It's not good. Patriarch, the head of the Yuan family is in trouble. Then Kaguya played a video. In the video, Yuan Zishan met Lu Mingfei with Yasha and Crow. It was raining. They didn't know what they were talking about, and then they drew their blades. The knife flashed. Yuan Zishan was killed with a knife. Yasha and Crow wanted to resist, and were also killed with a knife. Lu Mingfei's knife skills in the video are very fast. It took less than a few seconds to kill the law enforcer of the execution department, and he was Minamoto Chisui, who was Amaterasu. The scene played afterwards was Lu Mingfei burning the bodies of the 3 people with fire, leaving no residue, and the rain wiped away all traces. Tachibana Masamune's face was very ugly. He was not sad about the death of Minamoto Chisui. What really made him look ugly was that Minamoto Chisui was killed without doing anything. Tachibana Masamune waved his hand to let the elite of the 8 snake families retreat. The elite of the 8 snake families quietly retreated and closed the door. When there was only one person left in the room, Tachibana Masamune no longer disguised himself, and his face became extremely distorted. Waste? How can such a waste be my experimental subject? I have raised you so much, trained you to become Amaterasu. How can you be such a waste? I thought you were my best experimental subject. Tachibana Masamune directly overturned the table. It seems that we still have to rely on Minamoto Chisui. It just so happens that a new dragon blood gene potion has been developed recently. Since Minamoto Chisui is not his opponent, then let Minamoto Chisui, who has completely taken the dragon blood gene potion, take action. As for the consequences, who cares? He is just an experimental subject, and he can have as much as he wants. Tachibana Masamune quickly called Wang Jiang. Minamoto Chisui, who saw all this, felt a pang of sadness. Usuji was so angry that his teeth itched. He wished to kill Tachibana Masamune right now. Wang Jiang quickly answered the phone. Tachibana Masamune told Wang Jiang about Minamoto Chisui's death and his own thoughts. Wang Jiang nodded. It's time to let Kazumururi come out. He turned off the phone. Wang Jiang said to the driver, let's go back again, and this time we have to release a devil. Minamoto Chisui was drinking water in the Villa of the Demons. Through the screen in front of him, he had learned that Wang Jiang was on his way back. Idiot. Minamoto Chisui already knew what was controlling him. He was a smart child. Knowing the reason, he naturally knew how to crack it. The simplest way is to plug your ears. It's fine as long as you can't hear anything. As for the dialogue, Genshin can read lips. Next is the time to show her acting skills. Genshin said to Sakurai Kojia, "Go prepare a car." Sakurai Kojia was very obedient. She nodded and left the villa. This scene was a one-man show by Genshin. It was not suitable for others to be present. Soon, the king returned to the villa again. Chapter 153, Acting Skills. Genshin is a very good gigolo. It takes a very strong acting skill for a gigolo to perform on stage. And there is a play in Japan that requires men to dress up as women to perform. Genshin is the top performer in this play. In terms of acting skills, Genshin is not like some movie emperors. When Wang Jiang came to the villa, Genshin was sitting on a chair with a knife in his hand. He looked like a cheetah with fangs exposed. "Why don't you see your little follower?" Wang Jiang said. Genshin put the blade back into the sheath. "This doesn't seem to have anything to do with you. And it doesn't seem like your character to come back again." Wang Jiang shook his head. "I naturally have my reasons for coming back, such as releasing a vicious dog." Bang bang bang. The sound of the clapper suddenly sounded. Genshin's pupils shrank, and the originally elegant appearance disappeared instantly. The crazy will was invading his brain. When Genshin opened his eyes again, there was a wicked smile on the corner of his mouth. The whole person had a charming feeling. A kind of evil was filled from head to toe. "Drink this." Wang Jiang took out the latest dragon blood gene potion from his pocket. Feng Jian Liuli picked up the potion in the glass test tube. "It's really beautiful." Then he drank it all. His golden eyes became hot. "You are strong enough now. Go and capture Usujiria." Genshin didn't look at Wang Jiang directly, but spoke casually. "What if I killed her? Then bring back her body too?" Wang Jiang's tone was neither cold nor indifferent. "As expected, I really hate you. I wish I could tear you apart directly." Genshin threw the glass bottle in her hand elegantly. At this moment, he was a ghost. The fallen ghost Feng Jian Liuli. Wang Jiang turned around and left with his back to Feng Jian Liuli. Such a confident attitude seemed to determine that Feng Jian Liuli would not attack him. When leaving the door, Wang Jiang suddenly said, "Her message will be on your phone soon." After Wang Jiang left, an evil laughter came out of the villa. The laughter spread far away. Only after Wang Jiang had completely walked away did Feng Jian Liuli put away that evil smile. The next moment, the evil aura on his body disappeared. Idiot. The evil eyes once again returned to a clear state. Then Genshin took out 2 wooden plugs from her ears. Just these small wooden plugs completely suppressed the hypnotic voice. He was still Genshin. Feng Jian Liuli did not come out at all. Everything just now was his own performance. It was his acting skills. He deceived Wang Jiang. It was very easy to deceive him. It seems that he is even more stupid than I thought. Genshin's eyes became cold. At this time, his mobile phone rang. There was a location in the mobile phone. The location of that location was naturally the place where Usujirai was now. It seems that I have to play that person's play first. I'm looking forward to the end of this play. Genshin closed her eyes. When she opened her eyes again, her eyes were full of depravity. The evil ghost Feng Jian Liuli. A coffee shop. A boy and a girl sat by the window on the 2nd floor. Mingfei ordered a cup of strawberry Christmas for Usujirai. Sweet's a girl's favorite. Mingfei ordered a glass of milk for himself. "Did you remember everything I just said?" Mingfei said with a smile. Usujirai nodded. Her hand quickly wrote on the writing board. "Yes, I remember. This show is about to end." Mingfei used a spoon to put a spoonful of sugar into the pure milk and stirred it slowly. They were waiting for a show to be performed. Soon, noisy footsteps came from outside. Mingfei did not hide his whereabouts, so he was soon discovered. The 8 snakes offered a reward of 10 billion yuan to find Usujirai. This is enough to drive many people crazy. Among them are some scumbags who are made up of bikers. They are a group of uneducated bastards who often do illegal things based on their young age. They are like garbage in the dark, and people feel troubled at a glance. Mingfei knew that in his original future, he had been hunted by these bikers. If it weren't for the words that didn't want to die, he would have been killed by these gangsters. Those who kill will be killed. Jiang Nan once told Lu Mingfei, killing is just a means, and you don't have to do it if you don't like it. But the premise is that your strength is strong enough to control everything and protect everything. Otherwise, killing is a way. Soon a group of bikers on motorcycles surrounded the entire coffee shop. The guests ran out in a panic, fearing that they would get burned. Lu Mingfei and Usujirai sat in their original positions without moving. Usujirai was still eating the delicious strawberry Christmas. Lu Mingfei gently stirred the milk with a spoon. Soon a monkey-like biker came to Usujirai and Lu Mingfei. When he saw Usujirai, he showed a lewd smile at the corner of his mouth. Then he reached out and grabbed Usujirai. In his eyes, Usujirai is not only a beauty, but also a walking billionaire. But before that hand touched Usujirai, it was grabbed by Lu Mingfei. Bagger. The monkey biker cursed fiercely when he saw someone stopping him. Lu Mingfei's nose trembled slightly, as if he smelled some special fragrance. Are you on drugs? No wonder your pulse is beating so fast. The moment Lu Mingfei grabbed the monkey biker's wrist, he felt his pulse. This abnormal pulse was like an athlete who had just run 10 kilometers. A fast beating pulse represents excitement. Excitement will stimulate something. Adrenaline. Once adrenaline is stimulated, people will ignore pain and fear. Obviously, this monkey biker was stimulated by adrenaline, but he didn't use normal means. Bagger, you're looking for death. The monkey man took out a gun and shot Lu Mingfei in the head. His gun was naturally provided by the underworld. Japan is a country that recognizes the underworld. Lu Mingfei dodged the bullet by tilting his head. The monkey biker wanted to shoot again, but the next moment Lu Mingfei crushed his wrist. Although your country has very cute maids and good enlightenment teachers, I really still hate them. The monkey biker screamed and wanted to continue shooting, but his gun was grabbed by Lu Mingfei's other hand and then stuffed into his mouth. When you want to kill someone, you should also be prepared to be killed. The monkey biker's eyes met Lu Mingfei's cold eyes. As long as Lu Mingfei gently pulled the trigger, his life is gone. It's that simple. Chapter 154. Devil. Killing. It's a bit far away for ordinary people. But Lu Mingfei is a monster. He is very ferocious. He is a lion. It's just that bad luck covers him. And he is not the original him now. Not the one who can't protect anything. He is a cultivator. The way of cultivating immortals is to go against the heaven. And if you don't fight, you will die. Which cultivator in the world of cultivating immortals has not been a sea of blood and corpses along the way? Killing and stealing treasures are common. Lu Mingfei's fingers moved slightly, and his heart was very calm at this moment. Killing the biker gang in front of him was like killing a ghost. Then Lu Mingfei thought of something, and loosened his fingers. If he had just fired the gun, blood would have sprayed everywhere. And brains. Now Usujirai is eating strawberry Christmas. Strawberry Christmas is red strawberry jam mixed with white cake. The color is almost the same as brains and blood mixed together. If you see it at that time, you may lose your appetite. Don't let the children see this bloody scene. Lu Mingfei thought so. If it's too bloody, it will have a great impact on the physical and mental health of children. Sometimes death is not the greatest punishment. Lu Mingfei took out his gun and smashed the monkey biker's jaw. The force was so great that even the butt of the gun was deformed. The monkey biker's jaw was smashed into pieces. Before teeth, blood and other things came out, Lu Mingfei forcibly held his mouth. Don't spit, there are people eating here. Finally, Lu Mingfei gently pinched it. Snap. The bones of the monkey biker's upper and lower jaws were all crushed by Lu Mingfei. It hurt so much. But he wanted to scream but couldn't. The other bikers below didn't know that one of their companions was enjoying inhuman treatment here. Lu Mingfei stood up. I'll go out for a while and be back soon. Usujirai nodded. Okay. Lu Mingfei turned around and carried the monkey biker downstairs. In a battle, the moment the other party picks up a weapon, he is an enemy. The only good enemy is a dead enemy. In the battlefield, as long as you hold a gun, even if you are just a child, the enemy will shoot you without mercy. Being kind to the enemy is cruel to yourself. Little trash, it's time to stay in the trash can. A tall biker downstairs was directing his younger brothers to search around. Then his phone rang. After seeing the number displayed on the phone, the tall biker immediately answered the call. "How is it going?" "Sir, we have arrived and are searching. When we find him, we will definitely kill the man as soon as possible." The tall biker spoke very flatteringly, like a dog. He knew that only in this way could he live a better life. If he made the adult unhappy, he might die in a corner the next day. "Very good, I don't need to tell you what to do next. Hey. The phone was hung up. The tall biker immediately spoke to the younger brothers around him. "Hurry up and find them. I'll treat you to a good time tonight. You can have whatever you want." These bikers didn't know that in the eyes of the king, they were just tools to hold Mingfei back. Their fate was already determined. Bang! A biker who was unrecognizable was thrown down from the second floor. His body was shaking, and he didn't know whether he was dead or alive. Hearing this noise, the bikers below immediately raised their heads. They saw Mingfei coming down from the second floor. "Can you be quiet?" Mingfei picked his ears helplessly. "Bagger, you bastard. Everyone, come on." The bikers immediately took out their weapons when they saw someone hitting their brothers. Mingfei exerted a little force with his legs. Then he jumped directly into the crowd. At this moment, he was like a tiger entering a flock of sheep. Mingfei went straight to the tall biker, who was leading the group. The tall biker's eyes were red, and it was obvious that he was not in a good state. "It looks like he's taking drugs too." Mingfei stretched out his hand and pinched the tall biker's jaw. Then he pinched it gently and turned it. Crack. The tall biker fell to the ground, and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. "If the floor is dirty, I believe it will be difficult for the boss, so I will try not to get blood on the floor." Mingfei stood in the crowd and pretended to be cool. One of the bikers took out a gun and fired. He shot at the crowd. "Stupid." Mingfei dodged lightly, and the bullet shot at him hit the biker next to him. The biker didn't expect this to happen, and he said angrily, "Why did you hide, bastard?" Mingfei responded with a whip kick. Bang! The sound of flesh and blood colliding sounded. The powerful force directly made the biker fly backwards and finally hit the wall. This impact force probably broke all the bones. Mingfei didn't stop. He stretched out his hand and punched the two bikers next to him. The powerful force directly shattered their bones. Others didn't dare to shoot with guns, for fear that they would accidentally shoot their own people. But they couldn't beat Mingfei in close combat. They were crazy and frustrated. Mingfei was like a hungry wolf hunting for prey. He would shatter a biker's bones or break his wrists and ankles when he caught one. Not a drop of blood was shed in the process. Demons. Devils. Looking at the bikers around them whose bodies were twisted beyond recognition, the remaining bikers immediately turned around and ran away. They were scared. They ran away. Mingfei ignored the bikers who were fleeing in panic. Because his real opponent had come. Genshijao or Kazumururi. He passed through the fleeing bikers gracefully. The sharp knife in his hand exuded a cold light. The white skin seemed to have scales looming. The golden pupils became as bloodthirsty as a beast. "You're here. I'm here. You shouldn't have come. But I still came." The conversation between the two was very simple, but also very direct. Does it look familiar? Because this was a script written by Xiao Yan, borrowed from a certain pretentious scene. The next moment, the blades intersected. A tang sword appeared in Mingfei's hand, which was greed. Greed and the blade kept colliding with each other. Obviously, the knife in Feng Jianliu's hand is also a powerful alchemical weapon. Breathing of the Sun 11th form of the Halo Dragon head dance. Mingfei quickly swung the greed in his hand, and the high-speed connection formed a giant dragon, which opened its mouth wide to swallow everything. Feng Jianliu quickly swung the alchemical weapon in his hand, but Mingfei's high-speed slash was too fast. With a small flaw, the flaming dragon swallowed Feng Jianliu. Feng Jianliu flew backwards, and the alchemical weapon in his hand had been broken. However, the most powerful thing about Feng Jianliu is not his weapon, but his word spirit. Word spirit, night taper. The ancient language was chanted. Chapter 155, Dream. Mingfei had a dream. His body fell to the ground. He fell into a deep sleep. A quartz capture capsule fell out. The holy remains of the White King were trapped inside. Pa. Wang Jiang walked in from outside the cafe, clapping his hands. "It's really wonderful. The word spirit dream taper directly attacks the soul. No matter how strong the body is, the soul is ultimately a weakness. Wang Jiang bent down and picked up the holy remains of the White King. He finally got the chance to become a god. The next step was the container. Wang Jiang ignored the two sleeping people. He couldn't wait any longer. He didn't want to waste any more time on these mortals. He was about to become a god. As soon as he reached the second floor, Wang Jiang saw Usujirai. He gently tapped the black wooden stick in his hand. Bang bang bang. The rhythmic tapping sound continued to echo on the second floor. Usujirai suddenly trembled all over, as if she had seen something horrible. Soon the girl fainted. Become a god right here. I don't want to wait even a minute. The 8 houses of Snake. Genji Heavy Industries. Tachibana Masamune looked at the man in front of him with horror. Usujiyu and Minamoto Chisui stood in front of him. Chisui, aren't you dead? How could my son die? Usujiyu raised the knife in his hand and directly cut off one of Tachibana Masamune's arms. Jiangnan sighed beside him. Oh my. Sure enough, I still couldn't stop him. But it doesn't matter, who makes me like to see this scene. In order to avenge his son, Usujiyu transformed into a brutal shadow emperor. It was as if the emperor who once looked down on the world had returned. He used a sharp knife to cut off every intact muscle on Tachibana Masamune's body. He couldn't live or die. Tachibana Masamune screamed continuously, but his room was well soundproofed. No one could hear it. In the end, Tachibana Masamune died, bleeding to death. There was no intact part of his body. He died at the hands of Yuan Zishan's real father. Jiangnan waved his hand and threw Tachibana Masamune's body into the trash can downstairs like throwing away garbage. Let's go. The performance over there should start soon. The king took off his mask. At this moment, he was Herzog, a great doctor who studied dragon blood genes. He paid too much for this moment. After 20 years, he finally completed his plan. Herzog carefully opened the mouth of the quartz bottle. Go. This is the container I prepared for you. The holy remains of the White King seemed to have sensed something. The moment the mouth of the bottle was opened, he rushed out and entered the sleeve of Usujirai. The sound of muscle tearing sounded. The next moment, countless winds were roaring. The terrible sound of the wind seemed to be the breathing of something. The monster that had been sleeping for 10,000 years woke up. Herzog felt this terrifying breathing and he smiled. Resurrected. Really resurrected. The White King was resurrected. Usujirai opened her eyes. She sat there silently like a puppet. Her eyes seemed to be flowing with magma. She looked down at the whole world from a high place, like a king who ruled the world. 10,000 years. She wanted to see if the world was still the same as before. Herzog was trembling. Excited or afraid. This terrifying power was about to be obtained by him. Great God. You are not dead after all. He tightened the black wooden stick in his hand. He wanted to control the White King. Usujirai raised her hand. The terrifying dragon power rose to a higher level again. Herzog knocked on the clappers fiercely. The rhythmic clappers echoed throughout the second floor. The girl's majestic expression like a king kept changing. Sometimes it was like a girl crying, and sometimes it was like the rage of a king. In the end, the girl shrank aside with her head in her arms like a child. Ha 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 ha, I did it. Herzog stretched out his hand and wanted to tear Usujiarai's clothes. However, the next moment, the knife flashed. Herzog's fingers were cut off directly. Stop it. Mingfei panted, his eyes full of fatigue. It seemed that escaping from the dream had taken him a lot of strength. What? You can actually escape? Mingfei's eyes were fierce, and he raised his knife high. Herzog was afraid and kept dodging backwards. Don't kill me, don't kill me. I'm willing to share the power of the White King with you. Let us become the masters of this world together and become gods together. Go to hell. Mingfei's eyes were full of anger. However, the next moment a long knife pierced his heart. It was Fengjian Liuli. You are careless Lu Jun. Mingfei turned around in disbelief, and he saw Fengjian Liuli who was also full of fatigue. Damn it, even if I die, I will take you with me. The knife in Mingfei's hand changed direction and chopped on Fengjian Liuli's body. The next moment, the two fell from the second floor like a kite with a broken string. The floor was stained red with blood. Herzog was surprised and happy about this sudden change. This time he would not waste time. He took out the blood exchange machine that he had prepared long ago. He wanted to exchange blood now to avoid more trouble. The fetal blood of the ancient dragon, when it was born, contained the power of the ancient dragon. The legendary dragon slaying hero Siegfried bathed in dragon blood and became the legendary powerful hybrid. In fact, the dragon blood bathed here was the fetal blood of the ancient dragon. What Herzog wanted to exchange was the fetal blood of the White King. He wanted to inherit the royal blood of the White King. One end of the blood exchange machine was inserted into Usuji Iria's arm, and the other end was inserted into his own arm. Then the machine started, and the blood in Usuji Iria's body began to enter Herzog's body. Today I will become a god. It's a pity that all the witnesses are dead. As the blood was constantly replaced, Herzog felt a warm current flowing in his body. Endless power was constantly revived in his body. The genes from the White King were transforming his body. This is evolution. Possessing the blood of the king, he will have the power of eternal life. Bondarev. Didn't expect it. The way you opened the road to evolution was finally completed by me. Everything you did is mine. I'm the final god, and I'm the final winner. Herzog laughed wildly. He did not realize that the abnormality on his body had disappeared. He did not evolve, and he did not become a god. Herzog, who was still immersed in fantasy, did not seem to realize his mistake until Mingfei and Yuan Xin stood in front of him with extremely playful eyes. That kind of eyes was like appreciating the self-performance of a clown. Are you not dead? Herzog asked this question subconsciously. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156, All Cast. Mingfei's mouth curled up slightly. Is this the death you're talking about? He pointed to the place on his chest that was bleeding. That was the wound that was pierced by Feng Jianli before. Mingfei opened his collar. There was actually a blood bag inside. A blood bag from a movie prop. Herzog was confused. Yuan Xin also opened her collar. That was also a blood bag. Before you were confused, you clearly saw the knife piercing my body. It's actually just a visual error effect in the movie. Yuan Xin raised her knife and tapped the blade with her fingers. The sharp knife actually made a banging sound that only plastic can make. Herzog still didn't understand. Forget it. After all, you are a clown. How can you understand the feeling of being surrounded by actors? Mingfei clapped his hands lightly, clapping as if the audience gave applause to the people on the stage after a performance. Yuan Xin also clapped. Usuji Eri, who was lying on the table, quietly opened her eyes and took off the earplugs that were hidden deep in her ears. Then she also clapped her hands. What's going on? Herzog was confused. The White King who lost his dragon blood should die. Mingfei, congratulations. Yuan Xin, congratulations. Usuji Eri opened her mouth, but no sound came out. If you look at her lips, it was also these two words. Congratulations. Yuan Zishan came over from the corridor in the distance at this time, and he also clapped his hands. Congratulations. Usuji Yu followed behind him. Congratulations. Angus, Nono, Caesar, Finger, Chuzaheng, Jiudmei, Suengxi, the Bronze and Fire Kings Liu Tang and Constantine, the Earth and Mountain Kings Jumunganda and Fenrir. They were all clapping their hands. They said, congratulations. Congratulations. Everyone surrounded Herzog. The fierce applause filled the entire second floor. At this moment, it seemed as if humanity was completed. Are you confused, Mr. Clown? Let me, the director, explain everything to you. Jiangnan walked out of the crowd. He held his head high, and the audience's applause was the most beautiful compliment to him. This was a successful performance. A very successful performance. All the audience were very satisfied. Jiangnan lowered his palm. The applause stopped. Now I will pretend. No explanation. There is only one truth. A large screen appeared in front of Herzog. Some pictures were played on the screen. It was in the Villa of the Ghosts. Yuan Xin put the wooden plug into her ear. Jiangnan began to explain. First of all, Yuan Xinv has always been Yuan Xinv, not the puppet controlled by you, Fengji and Liu Li. The story on the screen continued. Yuan Xinv deceived Herzog through her superb performance, making him think Fengji and Liu Li was released. Herzog opened his mouth in disbelief. So he was being acted all the time. The pictures on the screen began to change. This time it was Yuan Xishan. Yuan Xishan drew out his two swords in the rain and was knocked unconscious by Mingfei with the back of the sword. Through high-tech means, this video was modified into a video of Mingfei killing Yuan Xishan and 3 others. Then this fake video was sent to Tachibana Masamune. The screen continued to play. The cause and effect of the story were fully displayed. Everyone around Herzog was in collusion. In the coffee shop, Mingfei and Yuan Xishan did not enter the dream at all. They just lay on the ground and looked at the screen in front of them, watching Herzog's movements on the screen, and then looking for the right opportunity to step forward and steal the show. And there were some actors' improvisations here. In the original script, Mingfei raised the knife and was stabbed to death by Fengji and Liu Li before it fell, and the two died together in the end. But here Mingfei performed an improvisation. He directly cut off several of Herzog's fingers. It seems that he really hates Herzog. Let's enjoy this moment of improvisation. Jiang Nan snapped his fingers lightly. In the picture, Mingfei cut off Herzog's fingers hideously. At this moment, Herzog cried. Tears kept rolling in the corners of his eyes, and his eyes were full of fear. Cowardice, weakness, fear, all the weaknesses of human nature are manifested in him. Caesar looked at him with disdain. In the end, Herzog even shouted the classic saying of the villain, "I'm willing to share the world with you." What a qualified villain, so perfectly showing the qualities that a clown should have. Dr. Herzog, you are worthy of being the most clown-like thing in my heart. Jiang Nan's eyes were full of admiration. Herzog was angry, but he could not do anything. He could only be as helpless and furious as a clown. He did not have the blood of the White King in his body, and his blood had been taken away by the blood exchange machine. So what exactly is filling his body now? The answer was revealed immediately. The picture in front of Herzog turned again. That was when Mingfei met Usugieri. Mingfei asked Usugieri, "Do you like watching performances?" Usugieri replied, "If you like it, I like it." So the actor Usugieri was in place at this moment. Mingfei told her how to act, and if she didn't remember, she could just look at the director's script on the big screen. Usugieri was going to perform the resurrection of the White King. So the scene in the coffee shop was performed. Jiang Nan stood up at this time and said, "Eri is a genius." Although it is her first time, this level of acting is really hard to imagine that she is just a newcomer. If she enters Hollywood, she will be the future queen of the screen. Usugieri seemed a little embarrassed by the praise. "Okay, Miss Eri, take out our performance props." Usugieri nodded, then took out a section of spine from her sleeve. It was the holy bones of the White King. Jiang Nan glanced at the confused Herzog. "Little toy, little toy." Jiang Nan pressed the forehead of the holy bones of the White King, and then the bone twisted and made a sound of muscle tearing. It was like a Barbie doll in a toy factory. With a light press, the pre-recorded sound inside would come out. Herzog didn't know what to say. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. "There's one more thing. Miss Eri." Usugieri reached out and unbuttoned her clothes, but the imagined naked scene did not appear. There was an inner lining inside her clothes, and on the lining was a compressed blood bag. The blood bag was connected to her arm, and there was a layer of fake skin on her arm. Usugieri took off all the clothes with great effort. Then she handed it to Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan took it in his hand and weighed it. The blood bag was full of Herzog's blood. Herzog went through so much trouble to exchange blood for the things in this blood bag. What on earth did Jiang Nan prepare for him? Chapter 157, Props. Jiang Nan said with a smile, "You can try it. I think your sense of taste should not have been lost at this time." Herzog stretched out his hand and gently scratched his wound with his finger. Something like blood appeared on his finger. Jiang Nan raised his hand with a very happy expression. "Try it." Herzog put his blood into his mouth. The next moment he spat it out. Sour, sweet, bitter, spicy, salty. How could blood have such a taste? "What on earth did you do to me?" Herzog roared out this sentence. He was afraid. He was afraid of death. He was more afraid of unknown things. How could such a thing be stuffed into a person's body? Jiang Nan raised a wicked smile. This is the prop blood I made. Isn't it very realistic? At least it is much better than some domestic dramas that spray blood and sprinkle wolf berries. Are you curious about how this thing is made? I used ketchup, chili sauce, jam, salt, MSG, cola, Laoganma, and other daily common condiments to mix it. Except that the taste is not very good. Everything else looks like blood. Jiang Nan explained it briefly. In other words, this is what is flowing in Herzog's body now. But if a person's blood is replaced by this thing, he will die. How is it possible? How is it possible? Herzog tore open the clothes on his other arm, and then bit his arm. However, the dark seasoning that was sprayed out was indeed extremely unpalatable. Chiudme looked at Jiang Nan. He saw with his own eyes that Jiang Nan used the seasoning of the Blackstone Mansion to season this thing. If her body was filled with this thing, she might as well die. Herzog seemed a little crazy. His spirit was like a roller coaster during this period, up and down, especially when he was about to ascend to godhood. The higher he stood, the harder he fell. His belief was like a steel wire being madly needed. In the end, it couldn't bear it and broke. This is not true. This is not true. Jiang Nan smiled smugly. He believed it. He believed it. Ha 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 ha. I also have the talent to play the dice of Zhuangdao. I played well. I played wonderfully. Jiang Nan suddenly understood why those scammers like to play tricks on people so much. It turns out that playing tricks on people is so interesting. As expected of the boss, you played very well. Mingfei began to echo from the side. The others looked at each other and began to echo. Well played. Wonderful. Well played. Well played. Herzog looked at the people in a mess and suddenly he seemed to think of something. You are lying to me. You are lying to me. I'm a doctor. I'm the greatest doctor who studies dragon blood genes in Black Swan Port. How can a person's heart and organs survive because of these things? You are lying to me. You are using a sleight of hand to deceive me. Herzog's roar was so heartbreaking. He grabbed the last straw. The look in his eyes was angry and pleading. It was as if he was begging everyone to tell him that they were lying to him. Hehe, you underestimate our means of sitting and watching the way. In order to fill this thing into your body, I added some special ingredients. One is an aesthetic liquid, the other is life-extending pill. These two special things can shield your pain and keep you alive. This is the means of cultivating immortality. These two medicines are made by alchemists. By the way, the effect of the anesthetic liquid will be over soon. Jiang Nan said with a smirk. The next result is predictable. As the pain-shielding medicine gradually loses its effect, Herzog feels like ants are crawling all over his body. Then there is pain. Those ants drill into his internal organs and start to bite him crazily. Tears flowed from the corners of Herzog's eyes. Red. But this kind of fatal pain still keeps him alive. Because the life-extending pill keeps him alive. Even if his heart is pierced at this time, the life-extending pill can keep him alive for 10 minutes. The products of cultivating immortality must be exquisite. Herzog rolled on the ground crazily. His body began to reject these things that did not belong to him. Red liquid began to be expelled from his wounds, mouth, ears, and nostrils. Pain may not be enough to describe Herzog's feelings at this moment. Come on, while you are still alive, take revenge on those who have grudges, and stab those who don't have grudges twice. Jiang Nan waved his hand to indicate that this was the last scene. This was the third scene, and the end was also revenge. And because of the existence of the life-extending pill, Herzog would not die so easily. Genshin had been waiting for this moment. He had long wanted to kill Wang Jiang. If this was a dream, it must be a beautiful dream. Usuji also drew his weapon. Genshin hesitated for a moment and also drew his weapon. I have wanted to do this for a long time. Genshin walked towards Herzog with a smile, and the blade in his hand pierced Herzog's organs, and then crushed them. Draw the knife, insert, and crush the organs. Genshin knew which organs would not be fatal if damaged, so he picked these organs first. Herzog's 2 kidneys were dug out. It was so bloody. However, Genshijo was laughing happily. After being played with for so long, he could finally get revenge. Usuji was more brutal. He chopped off Herzog's body bit by bit. The double torture of body and mind made Herzog crazy. He begged for mercy frantically and roared frantically. "Forgive me. I was wrong. I don't want to die. I can tell you all my secrets. I have the whole process of resurrecting the White King. I can give you all the results of my experiments. Let me go. I don't want to die. I really don't want to die." At this moment, Herzog was like a dog. He kept begging for mercy, just to survive. His legs had been chopped off by Usujiyu. Even if he survived, he would be a cripple. However, the louder Herzog begged for mercy, the crazier Genshija became. His blade kept thrusting back and forth in Herzog's body, and Herzog was soon pierced into a sieve. But he still didn't die. He lived tenaciously. Mingfei blocked Usuji's eyes to prevent her from seeing such a bloody scene. Although Usuji has a mature body, her heart is that of a child. This innocent heart is too pure, and she doesn't even understand bisexual relationships. A bloody scene is not good for a child's growth. After this incident is resolved, the three siblings are like birds out of a cage and can fly freely. Usuji will also grow up healthily under the protection of his father and brother. So it's better not to see such things. Chapter 158, Closing Song. Herzog twisted his body like a snake. He wanted to escape, but he couldn't escape at all. The dark seasoning and some remaining blood dyed the floor red. Mingfei seemed to have said something wrong before, but it doesn't matter because this store was just bought by Suengxi. Now this place is his territory. A long line of blood extended to the exit of the second floor. Yuan Zishan blocked there with a knife. Looking at that familiar face, he was so ugly at this time. "Zisheng, I know I was wrong. Let me go. My hands and feet have been chopped off. I can't do anything. See that I have raised you for so long. Please let me go." Herzog tried to make his tone sound like Tachibana Masamune, but there was no going back. Yuan Zishan shook his head, his eyes full of coldness. "You should have died a long time ago." Yuan Zishan waved the knife in his hand and cut off Herzog's head. It was also the head of Tachibana Masamune, his father whom he once respected the most. Melancholy. Even if there is a life-extending pill, he will die if his head is cut off. Herzog is dead. This conspirator is dead. This clown is dead. After 20 years of planning, this is the final outcome. However, as a qualified old six, it is best not to leave even a slag of the villain's body. Destroy the body and eliminate all traces. Jiang Nan snapped his fingers lightly. Red flames like lotus bloomed on Herzog's body. This is a red lotus fire of hell. It contains the law of absolute death. Use sin as fuel and burn everything. The blooming lotus flame soared more than 2 meters high. It seems that Herzog's sins are very serious. Under the burning of the red lotus fire, this ambitious man finally turned into ashes. Jiang Nan blew gently. The ashes flew out of the door along the stairs and finally rose up. Everything is over. This is the finale. Yuan Zinv put down the knife. He smiled happily, and all the burdens and pressures were put down at this moment. Ha ha ha. Genshishan looked at his brother, and he knew that his brother must have had a hard life. "I'm sorry." Now Genshishan can finally apologize. He wants to make up for his brother, and he wants to atone for his mistakes. But in Genshinu's eyes, his brother is not wrong. His brother has always been the most upright and greatest brother. Genshinu actually always wanted to reconcile with her brother, but there is no chance. "Brother, you don't need to apologize to me. You are not wrong." Genshinu smiled. Genshishan saw that smile and remembered his childhood. At that time, Genshinu often had this smile. What a perfect ending. Usuji was very happy when he saw his two sons reconciled. Usuji was also very happy. That's great. Now the biggest boss is dead. The rest of the pile of things will be left to others to deal with. Everyone present is an elite. Whether it is the Snake 8 families or the demons, they will handle it. Angus saw the whole process of the story. He also knew the bloodline of the White King of the Snake 8 families. The secret party is a violent organization, and Ange is the best among them. Although Japan is ruled by the Snake 8 families, but Ange supported his own disciples, and in Inuyama he became the head of the Inuyama family. It seems that a tug-of-war is about to begin. But this kind of open and secret struggle has nothing to do with Jiangnan. Herzog died. The story ends here. The people on Jiangnan's side stood together, and they stood behind Jiangnan. Everyone, this play has ended perfectly here. As for the next thing, I believe you will handle it well. Jiangnan said lightly, and stared at the 4 dragon kings behind Jiangnan. But it is obviously not the time to take action now. This is indeed a good play, but I don't know if you will have a second work. Anj smiled. I will continue to work hard and strive to bring you more exciting works. Jiangnan also smiled. The story has come to an end. Yuan Zishan can also put down the burden of the Snake 8 families at this time. He can go to France to sell sunscreen with his younger brothers and sisters and father. They re-established their family in that unfamiliar country. No one knew them. No one knew their past. How should I tell my father and the others? Yuan Zishan was thinking about how to express his thoughts and unload the burden of the 8 snake families. Jiangnan suddenly thought of something and spoke. By the way, in order to thank Mrs. Sujierai and Mr. Yuanzin for their friendly performance, I will prepare a small gift for you. Jiangnan stretched out his hand, and the life energy and healing energy condensed in his hand. A warm feeling filled the second floor. Mrs. Sujierai needs to use the serum of the Deadpool fetus regularly because of her unstable bloodline. I will help her solve this problem. After her bloodline is stable, Mrs. Sujierai can also speak. Jiangnan pointed with one hand, and 2 different energies entered Sujierai's body. The unstable bloodline began to become stable because of the injection of life energy. The healing energy healed Sujierai's bonds. She will no longer be controlled by others. Sujierai was wrapped in a green ball of light. A warm feeling filled her body. Then it's Mr. General Chinu. I will heal your brain and erase the personality of Ruri Kazuma. Jiangnan pointed his finger, and a silver light entered General Chinu's brain. The broken pons in the brain was repaired, and Ruri Kazuma's personality was instantly erased by this silver light. General Chinu had never felt so energetic before. He seemed to have returned to his energetic appearance as a child. The chains that trapped General Chinu disappeared. The feeling of freedom, soaring in the sky and earth. Brother, I'm fine. My illness is cured. General Chishan nodded. Then the green light ball on Sujierai's body dissipated. The unstable bloodline became stable. Sujierai opened her mouth. Oni-chan. Crisp and cute. Sujierai spoke. It was the first time she spoke. Because of the word spirit judgment, Sujierai could not speak since she was a child. General Chishan was very happy to see that his sister could speak. But he was not happy the next second. After calling out brother, Sujierai ran directly to Lu Mingfei. Lu, let's play games together. For a moment, Yuan Zishan felt that the cabbage he had raised for many years was eaten by a pig. Sujierai called out brother as soon as she opened her mouth. Then she called out Lu Mingfei's name. Yuan Zishan felt jealous of this brother. Lu Mingfei smiled. Next time for sure. Chapter 159. The end of the song. All good things must come to an end. Everyone will eventually separate. After staying in Japan for a few more days, late one night, Jiangnan and his group rode Fenrir and disappeared into the darkness. Angus didn't even have a chance to follow. On the dragon's head, Jiangnan, along with the little maid Jiudmei and Lu Mingfei, said goodbye to the 4 dragon kings. See you again, if we are lucky. Although Jiangnan still wanted to overturn the abyss of Odin, he had played here long enough, and it was time to go back. Lu Mingfei should also go back. See you later. See you later. The little dragon girl sat on her brother's head. Old Tang and Constantine merged into the fiery sun dragon and flew away. Jiangnan, along with his little brother and maid, returned to China in a flash. At the end of the street in front of them was the home of Lu Mingfei's uncle and aunt. Back again. Little maid, I'm leaving. Are you happy? Jiangnan patted Jiudmei's shoulder. Jiudmei smiled. Finally, I can get rid of the oppression of the black-hearted boss. By the way, Lu Mingfei, you should take that thing. American English Mirakumo. The tale of the Yamato no Orochi, the legendary artifact. Lu Mingfei nodded. He did take this thing away when he killed the Yamato no Orochi. I'll make you a weapon while I have this last bit of free time. Lu Mingfei took out American English Mirakumo. Jiangnan took American English Mirakumo from Lu Mingfei's hand. Then he took out the holy remains of the White King. Soft bones. Really, you look pretty good at pretending to be dead. Then Xiao Yan spliced American English Mirakumo and the holy remains of the White King together. Bones connected to bones. In an instant, the holy remains of the White King began to expand. The consciousness of the White King began to revive. Xiao Yan pointed with one hand, and the consciousness of the White King was forcibly sealed, and fell into a deep sleep. Then Xiao Yan began to refine the weapon. The two bones began to merge and intersect, constantly stretching and deforming, and finally a bone spear appeared in Xiao Yan's hand. Next, Xiao Yan threw the spear to Mingfei. The spearhead of the spear is naturally the legendary artifact Xian Musangan, and the spear body is the holy bones of the White King. Now Xian Musangan is the container, and the holy bones and the container will merge to form the White King. But the will of the White King has fallen into a deep sleep. So now this spear can also be regarded as the unconscious White King. This is the White King's spear. With this gun, you can use the power of the White King. This is another kind of usurpation. The power of the White King is made into a weapon, which allows the person who uses the weapon to use the power of the White King. Don't say that I don't take care of you, boss. With this thing, no one can kill you, unless it's the Black King. Xiao Yan threw the White King's spear in his hand. Although it is a weapon made casually, its power is not weaker than some immortal weapons in the world of cultivation, and it is also a custom-made model, limited to the Dragon Clan. Chiodmei was stunned. She seemed to have discovered some incredible secrets again. Mingfei dripped a drop of blood on the White King's spear. The White King's spear emitted a burst of spiritual fluctuations, and it recognized Mingfei's bloodline. It seemed that Mingfei would be busy next. Anyway, goodbye. Xiao Yan waved goodbye to everyone and left the Dragon Clan world. In the chat group, Mingfei, I'm very happy today. Namikaze Minato, it looks like something good has happened. Mingfei, the group leader made a weapon and gave it to me. I'm so happy. This is the best gift I've ever received in my life. Mingfei, from today on, I'm the group leader's most loyal little brother. Atsujikoku Yoriichi. Saitama. Xiao Yan, I just came back. What's going on? Mingfei, long live the group leader. Namikaze Minato, long time no see, group leader. Xiao Yan, I've had a lot of fun in the Dragon Clan world recently. Basically, I've done everything I wanted to do. Atsujikoku Yoriichi, the group leader is a good person. Xiao Yan, ding, I received a good person card. Namikaze Minato, it looks like the problems in Mingfei's world should have been solved. Mingfei, I wonder who dares to write a script to abuse my brother now. Saitama, master, do you want to come to my world to play? Xiao Yan, there are too many weirdos in your world, and you don't need my help. You are the most powerful being in your world. Saitama, why? _carrot, why? Xiao Yan, after running around for so long, it's time to go back to school honestly. Don't forget that I'm still a student. Mingfei, master, why don't you use the clone technique? You should be able to do it with your ability. Xiao Yan, no, you don't understand. This is about enjoying life. Only a youth that skips classes is a perfect youth. Mingfei, you can't spend most of your school time skipping classes. Xiao Yan, there's no way. Who made me so outstanding? Namikaze Minato, I believe the master will solve it. Xiao Yan, by the way, there's no big problem over there, right? Tell me if anything happens. I'm your leader. Mingfei, master, you can't wait to make trouble as soon as you come back. Namikaze Minato, it's very good and peaceful here. Under my management, the scars of the Third World War in Konoha village are gradually healing, and my son is very well behaved. A photo of a happy family sent by Namikaze Minato. Mingfei, singles disagree. Xiao Yan, damn it, bullying singles. Namikaze Minato, blame me. Xiao Yan, you guys are really good at using emoticons. Namikaze Minato, after all, I've been in the group for such a long time, it's normal to know some convenient tools. I like to tinker with the chat group when I'm free occasionally. Atsujikoku Yoriichi, _carrot. Mingfei, teacher, I learned it too. Atsujikoku Yoriichi, well, I've been free recently, so I started looking for a new direction, and I just happened to have a breakthrough. Jiang Nan, did Mr. Yoriichi also practice immortal cultivation? At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, yes. Mingfei only broke through once. It seems that Mr. Yoriichi should have reached the key training stage. At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, that should be it. Namikaze Minato, everyone, work hard to become stronger. Mingfei, I will definitely catch up with the group leader. Jiang Nan, I will leave you my back, and then leave you far behind. Mingfei, Deg. Namikaze Minato, actually, I also want to catch up with the group leader, but I think I may not be able to do it in a short period of time. In this chat group, I have seen other worlds. To be honest, I also want to visit your world, and meet the people in your world. Mingfei, I will. Saitama, there must be strong people as strong as me in other worlds, and we will be able to have a refreshing battle then. Jiang Nan, there will definitely be. At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, Mr. Saitama will definitely find his opponent. Saitama, the dragon race ends here. In the beginning, I didn't intend to write so much. After finishing the plot of the first part, it would be almost finished. But I really couldn't help but want to praise that old bastard Herzog. I was so angry when I watched the dragon race. It's better for this bastard to die early. So I'll end the plot here. Dear readers and book friends, it's almost the end of the month. I beg for some monthly tickets. You can also give some free recommendation tickets. The author has been working hard on writing recently and has saved some manuscripts. I will start to update as soon as I have more. Your monthly tickets and recommendation tickets are my motivation. Chapter 160, Stupid Girl. A new day. The sun is shining. It's time to go to school. Jiang Nan strode down the road. I wonder if Jingjing misses me. Will she give me the iron fist of love right away? She should at least listen to my explanation. He looked at the scenery along the way. Jiang Nan suddenly felt that the peaceful daily world seemed pretty good. It was a good place for retirement. When he arrived at the school gate, there was a discipline committee inspecting today. Or should I climb over the wall or just go back? Jiang Nan thought. Just then, two people came up behind him. A boy and a girl. The boy looked at the discipline committee in front of him and turned to the girl and said, "There is a discipline committee inspecting contraband in front. Throw away the book in your hand." The girl had two ponytails and looked cute. The book she was holding was an adult magazine. This book would definitely be confiscated by the discipline committee. No, this book is already another me, the girl said sadly. If you look closely, you will find that the cover of this adult magazine has been changed. The original sexy girl's head has been replaced with a girl's head. There was also transparent tape next to the head portrait, and it was obvious that the girl's head portrait was glued on. The boy's eyes were full of coldness, but for some reason, Jiang Nan felt that the eyes were not, as if he was looking at a human being. If he had to say it, it was like looking at a monkey. Jiang Nan thought it was quite interesting, and if possible, he wanted to get away with it. The discipline committee member seemed to have noticed the adult magazine in the girl's hand, so she came over. "Over there, what did you bring to school?" The girl looked at the discipline committee member who came over, and then showed the adult magazine in her hand. "This is what I gave to Xiaoming." "Asshole, don't talk nonsense," the boy said angrily. At this time, the discipline committee member had already stretched out her hand, and she wanted to confiscate the banned adult magazine. "As the head of the discipline committee, I want to confiscate this book. You dare to bring an adult magazine to school so openly. Are you an idiot?" "Yes, she is indeed an idiot." The boy affirmed the idea of the head of the discipline committee without hesitation. "Even if you are a fool, you should know that this kind of thing should not appear in school." The head of the discipline committee stepped forward and said very seriously. At this time, the girl noticed the plump breasts of the head of the discipline committee, and she was still, to a, big breasts. The girl said loudly without hesitation, and the huge voice directly attracted the attention of the surrounding classmates. The discipline committee seemed to be a little shy by such behavior. "Who are you?" "I'm Anabuta Yoshiko from class B, grade 1. Jiang Nan suddenly remembered the true identity of this cute girl. Monkey King. A being with an IQ like a monkey. In addition to IQ, a girl with all skills maximumed out. From the anime series Stupid Girl. The boy next to her should be her childhood sweetheart, Akira Akatsuki. a boy who learned boxing, grappling, taekwondo, wrestling and other skills in order to kill the girl's childhood sweetheart. He is also a very good student. But the vitality of the Monkey King is too strong. The boy has not yet gotten rid of his childhood sweetheart. As for liking, how could humans fall in love with monkeys, except for the third brother? Taking advantage of this commotion, Jiangnan quietly prepared to sneak into the school gate. Just when Jiangnan was about to succeed, he stopped. After all, the boring things of going to school are not as fun as watching a play. With a naughty smile, Hanabata Yoshiko took out $1 and put it in the hands of the head of the discipline committee. Just pretend you didn't see it. The discipline committee member looked at the $1 in his hand and was very shocked. What a strange brain circuit. You are an idiot. Hanabata Yoshiko looked at this scene in shock. Damn, you don't want to, then how about I give you a banana? The discipline committee member seemed to be affected by Hanabata Yoshiko's strange brain circuit. What do I want that thing for? Hanabata Yoshiko said very seriously. This is not an ordinary banana. As long as you eat it with your mouth once, you will immediately fall in love with it. Without it, your whole body will be wrong. Hanabata Yoshiko seemed to think of some picture when she said this, and saliva flowed from the corners of her mouth. The head of the discipline committee had red cheeks, and it was obvious that she was thinking wrong. Could it be a banana with special meaning? Jiangnan was slightly stunned. The discipline committee member was strict. High school students of this age basically already know about the knowledge of both sexes. And don't forget that this country is rich in popular love action movies. So the children here also mature earlier. Everyone knows what the special banana represents. But such things cannot be said openly. Especially the discipline committee member. Hey, no. It's a 1000 yuan high-end banana. Hanabata Yoshiko suddenly returned to her normal appearance. By the way, what is the special banana you just mentioned? Hanabata Yoshiko suddenly approached the discipline committee member with a curious and exploratory smile on her face. The classmates around her covered their mouths after seeing this scene. Some girls even had a blush on their cheeks. What is that? What is that? Could it be? Hanabata Yoshiko was about to say those two words loudly. The words that a normal young girl would never say. No. The discipline committee member collapsed in the infinite social death, and she punched Hanabata Yoshiko in the stomach. Then she ran away with her face covered. Damn Hanabata Yoshiko, I will be back. She couldn't stay at the school gate for a minute. The classmates around were still talking. Hanabata Yoshiko rubbed her stomach and said loudly, "Let me finish. It's..." Akatsu Akira hit Hanabata Yoshiko on the head with a knife. Shut up. Akatsu Akira was also very helpless about this stupid girl. Don't look at Hanabata Yoshiko with the eyes of normal people. Although she is very cute, her essence is a monkey. So there are no human morals and concepts. You guy, remember to apologize to the discipline committee member later. Why do you want to apologize? Xiaoming, do you like her huge breasts? Akatsu Akira didn't want to talk. Hanabata Yoshiko looked at her. If I also had that pair of huge breasts, Xiaoming would definitely love me. Akatsuki turned his head away in disgust and spat. How could a human fall in love with a monkey? The commotion continued, and Jiangnan quietly passed through the crowd and entered the campus. It's so interesting. I believe my life won't be too boring in the future. There couldn't be so many people blocking the school gate, so the remaining discipline committee members began to maintain order again. Chapter 161. Different. Jiangnan was very happy. He had just come to school and watched a monkey show. It was good looking and fun. When he arrived at the classroom, Jiangnan stood on the podium and announced loudly without hesitation, "Everyone, I'm back again." The classmates in the class raised their heads in confusion and then saw Jiangnan's super second year appearance. A second later, they returned to their original state. The current group was still the same. The small groups were still gathered together. Hikigaya Hachiman leaned on the table alone. Damn, I'm so sad. No one responded to me. There was no way Jiangnan had done something more coquettish than this before. Everyone was used to it. You bastard, you're finally back. Shizuka Hiratsuka stood at the door with her fists clenched and gritted her teeth. Long time no see, Jingjing, you've become more beautiful today. Take my punch first. The iron fist of love landed on Jiangnan's stomach. What a familiar feeling. Jingjing, you've improved again. Jiangnan took 2 steps back, and the expression on his face was pain, confusion, and even more unbelievable. Shizuka Hiratsuka shook his wrist. Why are you pretending? I didn't use any force. Jiangnan stood up with a chuckle. If I don't pretend to be in pain, Jingjing will hit me again. HMPH. Shizuka Hiratsuka turned her head away. The problem child was really a headache. Then I'll go back to my seat first, Jingjing. Shizuka Hiratsuka was speechless about this extremely thick-skinned person. By the way, don't forget to participate in club activities when you come back. Okay, Jingjing. No problem, Jingjing. Jiangnan turned around and ran to his seat. Kato Megumi was still sitting there quietly. She was looking at Jiangnan. Long time no see, hoo. Your hair has grown longer. Kato Megumi was slightly stunned and then smiled. Long time no see. Hoo looks good with long hair. Kato Megumi gently stroked her hair with her hand. Thank you. Jiangnan put down his school bag casually, then sat on the chair, supported his face with his hand, looked at Kato Megumi and said, why did you think of growing long hair, hoo? Kato Megumi stroked the long hair that had reached her forehead with her fingers. Because I want to try to change myself. Hoo is beautiful, no matter what she is. Jiangnan never hesitates to praise his friends. It is normal for a girl to want to change herself. Well, but if you praise me like this, even I will feel embarrassed. Although she said so, there was still no shy expression on Kato Hui's face. There is nothing to be embarrassed about. We are friends. Jiangnan smiled happily. Kato Hui nodded. It's good to have friends. On the other side, Hikigaya Hachiman looked at Jiangnan with a little melancholy in his eyes. It seems that during the time when Jiangnan was away, Hikigaya Hachiman used a lot of his innate skills to self-destruct. Hey, Leobei, good morning. Jiangnan looked at Hikigaya Hachiman looking at him, so he waved his arms. There were quite a few people in the class. Hikigaya Hachiman nodded a little embarrassedly and waved his arms. Good morning. His voice was a little low. Hayato Hayama raised his head slightly and then continued to act as the leader of his group. He seemed to be paying attention to Hachiman Hikigaya as well. Yugahama Yui walked in from the door of the classroom and she greeted Hachiman Hikigaya skillfully. Hey, hello. Hachiman Hikigaya was slightly stunned. Hello. Yugahama Yui smiled and then she saw Jiangnan. Hey, hello. Jiangnan chuckled. Hello, Tuanzi. Yugahama Yui waved her hand and seemed to think of something and spoke. Jiangnan classmate, don't forget to participate in the club activities. I will. Yugahama Yui nodded and joined the group. Hachiman Hikigaya looked at Yugahama Yui who was leaving, and he returned to his usual self. Hachiman. At this time, Totsuka Reika suddenly came over and said a little embarrassedly. It is said that the school trip will be divided into groups in the next class. If possible, can you be in the same group with me? Hachiman Hikigaya was stunned. This was the first time that he, who had no friends, was invited. Totsuka Reika seemed to feel that her request was a little embarrassing, so she lowered her head and her cheeks were a little rosy. It's a pity that this is a cute boy. If it was a girl, maybe there would be nothing for others. Okay. Hikigaya Hachiman opened his mouth and agreed to Totsuka Reika's invitation. After hearing Hikigaya Hachiman's agreement, Totsuka Reika jumped away. Jiangnan nodded when he saw this scene. Old Hachiman is different. Kato Megumi said lightly. Hikigaya-san is a very gentle person. Yes, old Hachiman is super gentle, but he often sacrifices himself for others. I don't like this. I like a perfect ending. Jiangnan said with a smile. Club activities. Service club. Jiangnan felt that the atmosphere was a little different when he came back again. Yukinoshita Yukino bowed slightly and poured the brewed black tea into the teacup. Everyone watched quietly. This seemed to be a Japanese tea ceremony. Harmonious and friendly scenes rarely appear here. Kato Megumi sat on a chair, and the white porcelain teacup in front of her was already filled with black tea. Thank you. Kato Megumi said. Yugahama Yui said with a very happy smile. Thank you, Zayaksu. There were disposable cups in front of the two boys. Yukinoshita Yukino also poured tea for the two. Jiangnan said very boldly. Come on, don't go home until you are drunk today. Yukinoshita Yukino put down the teapot in her hand and said leisurely. Jiangnan classmate, this is black tea, not wine, and minors are not allowed to drink. This familiar tone, this familiar venomous tongue. It turns out that the gentle and virtuous daughter just now was an illusion. Jiangnan entered the state of being possessed by the spirit of drama again. Hikigaya Hachiman looked helpless. But it's not bad for the service club to have such an active atmosphere. Yugahama Yui smiled softly. Xiaoxu's black tea is very delicious. Come on, Leo Bei, let's drink this cup. Hikigaya Hachiman picked up his cup of black tea. Jiangnan clinked his black tea with him. Then he just drank it into his mouth. Hot. Yukinoshita Yukino shook her head helplessly. Freshly brewed tea must be hot. You have to drink it slowly. This is the normal way to drink tea. Jiangnan stuck out his tongue like a puppy. It's obviously the greatest respect for the tea maker to finish it in one breath. Yukinoshita Yukino said. Which country's etiquette is this? An ancient eastern country. Jiangnan gave a thumbs up. Hikigaya Hachiman put the disposable cup in front of his mouth and drank the tea gently. It really tasted good. The people around him were noisy, and Hikigaya Hachiman was no longer alone. Chapter 162, Confession Commission. Many people appeared around Hachiman Hikigaya without him noticing. Even he himself did not notice. The first person to appear beside him should be Jiangnan. Jiangnan extended her hand to him regardless of the strange looks from the people around him and the cold breath on him. Come be my friend. Then he entered the service club and met two girls. Although Yukinoshita Yukino was a bit sharp-tongued sometimes, she still took good care of him. Although Yugahama Yui always kept some things to herself, she also regarded Hachiman Hikigaya as an important friend. If you have it, you don't want to lose it. The same is true for Hachiman Hikigaya. When there is no commission, everyone gathers here to chat. Well, speaking of it, the school trip is about to start. Yugahama Yui said. Yukinoshita Yukino nodded. Yugahama Yui, I don't know where to go. I think Okinawa is very good. It would be boring to go to Kyoto. Yukinoshita Yukino took a sip of tea and thought for a while before speaking. Every place has its own culture, and they are all very good. Jiangnan raised her hand. I think it's better to go to Akihabara for a school trip. How about we go to cosplay and visit comic conventions? I heard that many new games and new light novels have been released recently. I plan to go there to look for them. Yukinoshita Yukino shook her head. It's possible, but I don't think the school will choose to go there. I can only say that there is a chance that they will choose a place near Akihabara. Hikigaya Hachiman put down the disposable cup. I don't think they will go to Akihabara either. After all, it is known as the Holy Land of Otakus, and a large part of the purpose of school trips is to let students imitate social life and adapt to this society in advance. Otakus are also part of social life. We can't deny that they are part of social life, just because otakus don't leave their homes. Jiangnan said very seriously. Kato Megumi was reading a book quietly on the side. She just stayed there quietly. Her low-key presence always made people ignore her. Jiangnan thought about it and might not be able to go to the Holy Land of Otakus. In fact, I don't think Akihabara is necessary. I heard that some places for school trips have mixed bathing. Everyone was speechless. Hikigaya Hachiman was thinking about Totsuka Ryoka. Hot spring bathing seems to be quite nice. Time passed unnoticed, and everyone discussed where they wanted to go on their school trip. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door of the service department. Such politeness. First exclude Hiratsuka Shizuka. Please come in. Yukinoshita Yukino said. The door opened. Hayato Hayama walked in with his younger brother. Hello. Hayato Hayama greeted politely. The younger brother behind him waved and greeted. Everyone nodded. Jiangnan thought for a while and said, the younger brother of Zion-chan group. I think his name seems to be Tobisho. That's the name, right? Tobisho scratched his head. I didn't expect Jiangnan to remember my name. Yukinoshita Yukino put down the teacup in her hand and said indifferently. What's the matter? Hayato Hayama glanced at Tobisho. He has something to discuss with you, so I brought him here. Tobisho lowered his head and was very embarrassed. Actually, I don't want to discuss this with anyone else. And there's also Hikaku. I can't ask Hikaku about this kind of thing. Hayato Hayama frowned, but still spoke. Don't say that. After all, you're asking them to help. No. No. Hikaku's trust is completely zero. Jiangnan smiled brightly. Although he knew how the plot would develop next, he was still very unhappy. You want us to help you? You're dreaming. If you can succeed, I'll take your last name. Jiangnan slowly emerged an evil plan in his heart. He remembered the monkey king he had seen at the school gate before. Yukinoshita Yukino said coldly. Get out. Hikigaya Hachiman thought he was talking about himself, so he stood up. But before he stood up, he was pushed down by Jiangnan. She's talking about the two in front. Jiangnan's voice had just fallen. In the astonishment of Hayato Hayama and Tobisho, Yukinoshita Yukino once again issued an order to expel the guests. The service club does not welcome people with bad manners. Please leave. Yukinoshita Yukino said this time very clearly. Hayato Hayama and Shotobe are not welcome here. Hikigaya Hachiman did not seem to expect this to happen. He seemed to have gotten used to being the least likable character. Shotobe did not seem to expect this to happen. Hayato Hayama said to smooth things over. Shotobe, let's go back and think about it. This matter should be solved by ourselves. Shotobe clenched his fists. I finally made up my mind. How can I do this? I'm sorry. I apologize for what I just said. Shotobe bowed. Hayato Hayama did not expect Shotobe to do this. Yukinoshita Yukino was silent for a while and then said, tell me about it. Shotobe immediately smiled and began to tell his confession. And the person he confessed to was the girl from the Zion Matsu group. Himina Rebina. Yugahama Yui was very excited. She did not expect to hear such interesting gossip. As expected, girls have no resistance to gossip. Especially the gossip about one's friends. Jiangnan narrowed his eyes. Tobisho was very embarrassed after he finished speaking. Yugahama Yui stared at her curious eyes and asked, really? Really? Anyway, please. Tobisho folded his hands. I want to confess to Ebina Himina, but I will be very sad if I'm rejected. Hikigaya Hachiman seemed to think of his own dark history. Yukinoshita Yukino put her finger on her chin and fell into deep thought, then spoke. I'm sorry, I don't think we can help much. Everyone present is a single dog. They really can't help with the problem of love. Please, help me. Tobisho bowed 90 degrees directly. Everyone seemed to have no reason to refuse. Yukinoshita Yukino could only sigh. Yugahama Yui said excitedly. Zyaraksu, Zyaraksu, Tobi is so distressed, let's help him. Zyaoki, Jiangnan, what do you think? Yugahama Yui turned her head and looked at the two boys and said. Hikigaya Hachiman turned his head without hesitation. Jiangnan relaxed his shoulders and said, just listen to the chief. Zyaraksu, Zyaraksu. Yugahama Yui coquettishly shook Yukinoshita Yukino's arm. Well, since it has come to this, I'll think of a way. Yukinoshita Yukino could only agree reluctantly. Yugahama Yui smiled happily. Okay. Tobisho was relieved when he heard Yukinoshita Yukino agree. Jiangnan smiled with a plan in mind. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163, Happiness that stops moving forward. Confession is risky. Hikigaya Hachiman has experienced it firsthand. It is social death. Hey, classmate Tobe, have you ever thought about being rejected? Jiangnan pointed out the key point directly. They are not familiar with each other, so why give each other face? Just confront him directly. Tobisho covered his head instantly. If you are rejected, you will die. It hasn't happened yet. You may not be rejected. Yugahama Yui said quickly. Jiangnan, no. Even if you are not rejected, there will be certain risks. Let me tell you a story. Hikigaya Hachiman suddenly had a bad premonition. Jiangnan spoke slowly. The protagonist of the story is called Zyaoba. When he was in junior high school, Zyaoba confessed to the girl he liked, but the girl rejected him and told her good friend about it. So the next day, the whole class knew about it, and they talked about it behind his back. For example, Jiang Nan suddenly acted very gossipy. Have you heard? I heard that Hachi confessed to that girl. That girl is so pitiful. Fortunately, I didn't tell Hachi my email address, otherwise he would have pestered her to death. Great, I didn't tell him either. Just like that, the whole class talked about what happened after Hachi's failed confession happily as a topic of conversation after dinner. Maybe the people talking won't understand. Their words are like a sharp knife to Hachi. From then on, Hachi sealed his heart and locked up his love, and then became a dark person. He vowed to take revenge on society. Hikigaya Hachiman suddenly felt something was wrong the more he listened. Hey, why are you abnormal? Jiang Nan loosened his shoulders. It's just a story. It's not about you, Hachi. Hikigaya Hachiman's face darkened instantly. However, this little story also reveals the risks of being rejected. It may even be impossible to be friends at that time. Happiness that does not stop is sometimes happiness. Yukinoshita Yukino nodded and said, I understand. In order not to be rejected, Yukinoshita Yukino decided to start with Tobisho's advantages. However, the result is no advantage. It seems that the probability of being rejected is getting higher and higher. Jiang Nan was bored and reading a book. In the end, Tobisho left disappointed. Yukinoshita Yukino is a girl who will not give up easily. Since she has agreed, she must try her best to do it to the end. Everyone discussed how to make the confession more likely to succeed. It happened that the school trip would be in a few days. It is a very romantic thing to confess during the school trip, but how to plan is a headache. Jiang Nan did not participate in it because it was useless. This confession is absolutely impossible to succeed. After discussing for a while, a preliminary plan emerged. The plan is very simple. Create opportunities, act in groups, cultivate the atmosphere, and then confess. Yugahama Yui is very confident in her plan. At this time, the service club was knocked again. Yukinoshita Yukino, come in. This time it was a girl who came in. The girl wore glasses and always had a smile on her face. If you just look at it like this, she is a very beautiful and quiet girl. Excuse me, Hina. Yugahama Yui called out the name of the person who came in. Ebina Hina nodded. Hey, Yui. Hello. Yugahama Yui waved with a smile. Yukinoshita Yukino seemed to see what Ebina Hina wanted to say, so she spoke. Please sit down. What's the matter? Ebina Hina sat on the chair and looked at the 5 people in the service department in front of her. I want to discuss the matter of Tobe with you. Everyone was stunned. Only Jiang Nan narrowed his eyes and smiled. Yugahama Yui thought that the two were running towards each other and became excited. Tobe. What's wrong? Ebina Hina took a deep breath. The result was a Fujoshi speech that shocked everyone. Ebina Hina talked about the love triangle between Tobisho, Hayama Hayato, and Hikigaya Hachiman. Although everyone has always known that this girl has such a personality, she was so enthusiastic about talking about such things that people really didn't react for a while. I really want to see their relationship even more indecent. Ebina Hina panted, as if she had seen some scenes. Yugahama Yui was so shocked that she couldn't speak. Yukinoshita Yukino rubbed her head helplessly. So what's the matter with you? Ebina Hime actually conveyed her meaning. As we all know, a triangle relationship is the most stable relationship. She wants to maintain the current relationship, but maybe no one, except Hikigaya Hachiman, can understand the hidden meaning in her words. This is a happiness that has stopped moving forward. Just stay where you are. It's good for everyone to keep this kind of relationship. No need to confess. No need to go further. This is the real meaning of Ebina Hime's words. At the same time, she also hopes that everyone can stop Tobisho from confessing to her. Recently, I feel that the atmosphere in our circle is a little strange. Ebina Hime said with some doubts. Yugahama Yui explained. Maybe there are some complicated things between boys. Obviously, everyone didn't want to reveal Tobisho's plan to confess. Jiang Nan opened the book. Now all the communication is no longer literal. Ebina Hime hid her thoughts and expressed them through the meaning below the text. I still want to get along with everyone as friendly as before. That's enough. Ebina Hina seemed a little lonely when she spoke. Of course, the relationship between boys will also feast my eyes. Ebonahina suddenly regained her spirits. Everyone seemed to have no idea what to say. Ebonahina stood up at this time. Then during the school trip, I also hope that some interesting things will happen. Jiangnan closed the book. Some interesting things will indeed happen. Ebonahina was slightly stunned, then smiled and left the service club. Yugahama Yui and Yukinoshita Yukino seemed a little confused. So what is the situation? Yukinoshita Yukino looked confused. Oh, didn't you understand? Jiangnan said with a smile. Yugahama Yui looked confused. What do you understand? The hidden meaning of Ebina's words. Jiangnan said. Hikigaya Hachiman sighed and picked up the black tea and drank it. So, what does it mean? Yugahama Yui asked. Jiangnan didn't want to reveal it in advance, so he spread his hands. Who knows? Anyway, as long as everyone gets along well, that's all. Hikigaya Hachiman nodded. Yes, as long as everyone gets along well, that's all. Kato Megumi seemed to have heard something, but she was not going to do anything, because she believed that this matter would definitely be resolved perfectly. Chapter 164. Daily Life After School. The answer to the mystery is most interesting only when there is suspense. It's getting late. It's time to go home. Jiangnan was about to leave. Hikigaya Hachiman looked at the sunset. I should go too. Kato Megumi packed up her things and followed quietly. Goodbye, Yugahama, Yukinoshita. After saying hello, Kato Megumi also left. Yukinoshita Yukino seemed to be lost in thought. Smart girls can always find the truth of the story from a few words. Leaving school, Jiangnan stretched. Hikigaya Hachiman was still thinking about something. After school is time to play. Don't think about those headaches. Do you want to go to the game hall? Jiangnan said very happily. Hikigaya Hachiman shook his head. Komachi is still at home. Damn, it's your sister. I didn't expect you to be a sister control. Hikigaya Hachiman rolled his eyes helplessly. Then I'll go back first, Jiangnan. Then see you tomorrow, Leo Bay. Jiangnan waved his hand, and only he and Kato Hui were left. Hui. I heard that the corner cafe has recently launched the latest ice cream cake. Let's try it. Kato Hui thought for a while, then nodded. Okay. Is it a date? To go out alone with a girl? Who knows? Paying too much attention to these issues will only make yourself fall into trouble. Jiangnan thought more about the new ice cream cake he was going to eat next. Walking on the road, Jiangnan introduced delicious ice cream to Kato Hui. Recently, many flavors of ice cream have been launched. I want to make it myself, but I always feel that it tastes better when made by others. It's a pity that I don't have a girlfriend, and there is no cute girl to make ice cream for me. In fact, cute boys can also make ice cream for me, such as Totsuka-san. Kato Hui listened quietly. Well, but ice cream is not easy to make. It requires a lot of skills. Jiangnan nodded. Woo woo woo. The sound of a girl crying came from the corner of the road. The girl's voice was very small, and it was obvious that she had been crying for a long time. I heard the girl crying. How can we let the little angel cry? Jiangnan and Kato Hui walked over. A little girl with braids sat on the curb, her head buried in her knees, her clothes wet with tears. It seems to be a lost child. Kato Hui squatted down. Jiangnan also squatted down. Why don't we find the police uncle? The police uncle is professional. I remember there is a patrol post with police on duty nearby. Kato Hui thought for a while and said. But now we should comfort the little girl, let the little girl stop crying, and then ask for information. Kato Hui reached out and stroked the little girl's hair. Little sister, why are you crying here? Where is your mother? The little girl raised her head. Her eyes were a little red and swollen. Mom is gone. Woo woo. Kato Hui. Then do you remember what your mother looks like? The little girl said in a crying voice. Mom is very beautiful and gentle. Jiangnan covered his face, which was the same as not saying anything. Then do you remember which direction your home is in? Kato Megumi continued to ask patiently, with a faint smile on her face. The little girl shook her head. It was certain that she didn't know anything. Then sister, can I help you find your mother? Kato Megumi reached out and took the little girl's hand. The little girl was a little scared. But Kato Megumi seemed very charming in this. Did you see our clothes? We are students from a high school nearby, not suspicious people. Yes, we are definitely not bad people. Jiangnan said in agreement. Well, okay. The little girl seemed to think that Kato Megumi and Jiangnan were not bad people. Look around. The girl's mother shouldn't go too far, and after realizing that her child is missing, the girl's mother will definitely look for it. Kato Megumi said, reasoning as if possessed by a famous detective. That's right, then let's look around, and if we can't find it, we'll ask the police uncle for help. There is always some extra time after school. Helping the little girl find her mother seems to be a good choice. The two of them walked on the street holding the girl's hand. When passing by the coffee shop, Jiangnan bought 3 ice cream cakes. The little girl's eyes were shining as she held the ice cream cakes. The temptation of sweets made the little girl temporarily forget to look for her mother. The sky gradually darkened. The 3 walked on the street, continuing to look for the little girl's mother. At this time, 2 people came towards them. A boy and a girl. Judging from the school uniforms they were wearing, they should also be from Fengziki High School. It seems to be from the school art club. Jiangnan said lightly. Although it was only a one-time encounter, Jiangnan still remembered what they looked like. Kato Hui was a little surprised. Do you know Jiangnan? Not really, but I've seen him twice at school. Kato Hui said admiringly. Jiangnan, your memory is really good. Jiangnan smiled. The 2 people from the art club seemed to be looking for something. When they saw the little girl led by Kato Hui, they stopped. The girl among them looked at the little girl led by Kato Hui seriously. A 4-year-old girl with a ponytail. Excuse me, are you Xiao Yan? The girl from the art club asked the little girl. The little girl nodded. I'm Xiao Yan. Great, it's like this. I just met your mother, and your mother is looking for you. The girl from the art club breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. It was obvious that they had been looking for a long time before this. Jiangnan stroked his chin with his hand. What a coincidence. The girl from the art club was stunned. Only then did she realize that the 2 people walking with the little girl were wearing the same style of school uniform as her. They were classmates from the same school. Hello, I'm Yusumi Mizuki, a student in Class A, Grade 1 of Fengziki High School. The boy who was walking with Yusumi Mizuki also came over at this time. I'm also a student in Class A, Grade 1, and I'm Achimaki Sabaru. Jiangnan and Kato Megumi looked at the 2 serious people and introduced themselves. Jiangnan from Class F, Grade 2. Kato Megumi from Class F, Grade 2. After a brief understanding, the 2 people from the art club met the little girl's mother after school, so they began to help the girl's mother find Xiao Yan. I see. Jiangnan nodded. Then let's go together. Kato Megumi proposed her idea. So there were 4 people traveling with the little girl. Soon the little girl found her mother. The little girl's mother held her child with a look of love in her eyes. Then the mother thanked the 4 people. It was getting darker and darker. The 4 people said hello to each other and went home. A day of peaceful life ended. Chapter 165. Daily routine on the way to school. It's a new day again. On the way to school, you can always see students rushing to school. Jiangnan is not in a hurry. At this moment, several elementary school students walked carefully along the white line on the side of the road. Jiangnan also played this kind of game when he was young, which stipulated that they could only walk in special places. For example, shadows, or walking on the white line. In the end, the white line broke in front, and the distance of the break exceeded 5 meters. Several elementary school students could only admit defeat unwillingly. Jiangnan shook his head helplessly. And at this moment, a man walked along the white line. Jiangnan recognized this person at a glance. Although he was not from his school, his name was definitely very loud. The legendary king of pretense, Sakamoto. A person who is either pretending to be pretentious, or on the way to pretending to be pretentious. Sakamoto pushed his glasses while walking on the white line, and then lightly jumped over the elementary school students, which was a place they could never reach. Several elementary school students seemed to have seen God. Sakamoto continued to walk along the white line. Finally disappeared at the intersection. What a pity. It would be very interesting if the King of Force was in our high school. After saying that, Jiangnan walked towards his school. Boring time is always a bit long. During class break, Jiangnan remembered that Hinabata Kako's class was class B of the first grade. There were also first year students on this school trip, and Jiangnan's plan required Hinabata Kako to participate. Because Hinabata Kako has all the abilities except IQ, including charm. At the door of class B of the first grade, Jiangnan stood here and looked inside. Then he saw Hinabata Kako holding her test paper and placing it in front of a katsu. All the test papers were 0 points. The big 0 points were so dazzling. Xiaoming, look at my ability test. All of them are 0 points. Hinabata Kako said happily, not feeling ashamed at all. Akatsu had a cold face. Because you're a fool. Don't you think you're super awesome? Because you're a super fool. Hinabata Yoshiko put down the test paper in her hand. Banana. She took out a banana and started eating it. The way she ate the banana was not much different from that of a monkey. Hello, what can I do for you? At this time, a girl came to Jiangnan. The girl had an angelic smile, and her long golden hair draped over her shoulders was very dazzling. An angel like Totsuka Rayaka. I'm here to find a monkey. No, I'm here to find Hinabata Yoshiko. She almost said what she really thought. Please wait a moment. The girl smiled and turned to enter the first grade B class. It's the class monitor. Hinabata Yoshiko greeted with a smile. Yako, someone is looking for you outside. Akatsuki Akira was a little confused, then turned and looked at Jiangnan. Jiangnan waved his hand. It's planned. That's it. So I hope you can help me with this one thing during this school trip. Aku-san, you are the owner of this idiot. I believe this is not a difficult thing for you. Akatsuki frowned and fell into deep thought. The school trips for the first and second grades are in the same place. It has been confirmed that it will be in Kyoto. Don't worry, I won't let you work for nothing. The reward is 5 high quality bananas. Jiangnan stretched out his right hand and then opened it. Banana. Hinabata Yoshiko instantly grasped Jiangnan's outstretched right hand. No problem, leave it all to me. Akatsuki covered his forehead helplessly. Then it's settled. Aku-san, I'll ask you to keep an eye on your childhood sweetheart when the time comes. You must not let him down at the critical moment. By the way, let's add an email address. Jiangnan took out his mobile phone. Okay. So the two exchanged email addresses. After Jiangnan did all this, he turned and left. Akatsuki looked at the excited Hinabata Yoshiko and spoke. What a super idiot. Haha, 5 high grade bananas. Hinabata Yoshiko drawled, and it seemed that the 5 high grade bananas had made her very greedy. The school trip arrived as scheduled. On the train, several girls sat together. They were discussing this school trip enthusiastically. Totsuka Rayaka and Hikigaya Hachiman sat together. Jiangnan sat opposite Hikigaya Hachiman. Kato Megumi sat next to Jiangnan. Old Hachiman, this school trip must be very interesting. Absolutely very interesting. Jiangnan smiled, a very bright smile. Hikigaya Hachiman was stunned for a moment and didn't say anything. The train started slowly. Everyone started to act with their own intentions. Totsuka Rayaka was a little sleepy and fell asleep against the window, shouting non-stop. Hachiman. Jiangnan smiled when he saw this scene. Time always passes inadvertently. The train stopping at the station means that the school trip has begun. Everyone divided into groups and began to check in at the surrounding attractions. Jiangnan quietly withdrew. Hayato Hayama was in a heavy mood at Zion-chan group. It seemed that he also knew something. Unfortunately, he couldn't solve this matter. Jiangnan didn't bother to care about him. After all, the good show he arranged was the most important. It was just a pity that the protagonist of this good show was a monkey king, whose brain circuits were strange and often didn't follow the routine. In the park near the school trip, Hinabata Yoshiko sat on the rocking car and swung wildly, completely ignoring that it was a toy for children. Ha ha ha, so fun. So fun. Akatsuki Akira was speechless. Several elementary school students around looked at Hinabata Yoshiko swinging wildly on the rocking car. They also wanted to play, but they were afraid that high school students would bully them. Damn it, let's go play on the swing. Several elementary school students went to the swing next to them. "Hey, swing." Hinabata Yoshiko jumped off the rocking car and then ran out like a monkey. When several elementary school students didn't touch the swing, Hinabata Yoshiko stood on it. Then he started swinging wildly. Damn it. Akatsuki couldn't stand it anymore and hit him with a knife. "You big idiot. Why are you fighting with a primary school student? That's right. You are an adult who only knows how to play. Is this okay?" A primary school student complained crazily. "Of course it's okay, because I have Zaoming." Hinabata Yoshiko looked at Akatsuki shyly. Akatsuki's eyes were very cold. "Idiot." Several primary school students were a little confused. "Is it really okay for adults to only know how to play?" Akatsuki turned to them at this time. "Don't listen to her, you kids. Idiots can't survive in this world. If you only know how to play, you will get 0 points in all subjects like her, and stupidity is contagious." What? Several students were shocked. Is there really an idiot who can get 0 points in all subjects? Are all your subjects really 0 points? A primary school student couldn't help asking. Hinabata Yoshiko nodded without hesitation. "Damn idiot, don't infect me." Several primary school students ran away immediately, fearing that they would accidentally become idiots who got zeros in all subjects. Chapter 166, Monkey Show. Jiangnan stood at the entrance of the park and watched the scene with a smile. "Hello." Akatsu Akira nodded after seeing Jiangnan. "I'm here. It's almost time to plan it. Don't worry, I'm an undercover agent here, and I know all their actions." Jiangnan said with a smile. "But is this really okay?" "It doesn't matter, it's just a non-existent person." Jiangnan threw a banana. "Banana." The banana circled in the air, and before it landed, it was caught by Hinabata Yoshiko in her mouth. As expected, it's still so excellent. Akatsu Akira was already embarrassed. Jiangnan began to simply plan his own plan. "Anyway, we will do this first, then this, then that." After making sure that there was nothing missing, Jiangnan left. The time of the school trip should not be wasted because of this matter. Jiangnan and Kato Megumi stood in front of the temple to worship. "If the plan doesn't work, I will overturn your temple," Jiangnan thought in his heart. At this time, Yugahama Yui ran over. "Kato, Jiangnan, come here quickly, it's about to start." "I'm coming." Jiangnan responded to Yugahama Yui with a smile. The first step of the plan is to create solitude. Creating solitude in a dark place can quickly bring two people closer. There is a basement under the Kyoto Shrine where the sacred stone is enshrined. The surrounding environment is very dark, but there are many people worshipping. Yugahama Yui stood in the queue. "As long as we go in at different times, we can let them be alone." Hikigaya Hachiman stared with a dead fish eye. "Oh. Two people in a group. Hikigaya Hachiman and Yugahama Yui in a group. Jiangnan and Kato Megumi in a group. Hayama Hayato and Yumiko in a group. The rest are Ebenheim and Tobsho." Hayama Hayato's eyes were a little dim, and he said, "It doesn't necessarily have to be two people in a group. In fact, everyone can go in together." Hayama Hayato wanted to break the solitude, but his identity as a friend destined him to not use too intense methods. How could Yumiko miss the time alone with Hayama Hayato? "Hayato, I think a team of two is also good." Tobsho would not miss this opportunity to be alone with Ebenheim. "I also think a team of two is very good." Hayato Hayama wanted to say something, but his words were destined to be useless. Hikigaya Hachiman noticed this, but he didn't say anything. Jiangnan had already prepared everything. It's just that no one knew. "Okay, Hayato, let's go first." Yumiko pulled Hayato Hayama into the basement of the shrine. Next came Tobsho and Ebenheim. Hikigaya Hachiman and Yugahama Yui also followed. Jiangnan and Kato Megumi followed at the end. Only a faint light shone into the dark corridor. Soon everyone came to the place where the sacred stone was placed. It is said that turning the sacred stone and making a wish can bring good luck. As time passed, everyone finished worshipping one after another. Only the last group was left. Kato Megumi looked at the strange stone in front of her and put her hand on it. Jiangnan did the same. The stone turned slightly and Kato Megumi put her hands together. Wishes are not effective if you say them out loud. Jiangnan never pins his wishes on false things. But there is still a process. Jiangnan put his hands together and thought in his heart. Would release Shin Thousand Hands, Chibaku Tensei. As we all know, ninjutsu can be used by clapping your hands. Kato Megumi closed her eyes and made a wish seriously. After making the wish, Kato Megumi smiled. Let's go. Yes. The two left the underground shrine. Then they continued their plan with Yugahama Yui. After the worship, they drew lots. Jiangnan smiled at the big lucky number in his hand. I'm so lucky today. Kato Megumi had a half lucky number in her hand. Half lucky number fits Kato Megumi's low-key personality. I heard that if you hang the lot in your hand high, it will turn into good luck. Let me help you hang it high, Jiangnan said to Kato Megumi. Kato Megumi handed the lot in her hand to Jiangnan. Thank you. Leave it to me. Jiangnan tied the lot for the two people high up. On the other side, Tobsho drew the bad luck, which seemed to indicate that this was the result of his confession. But if a person is determined, he will not be shaken by these empty things. Time always passes by inadvertently. In fact, there is no need for everyone to do anything. Tobsho himself has been trying his best to show himself. Even if Ebenheim is a fool, she should have discovered his thoughts. But Ebenheim is not a fool. On the contrary, she is very smart. You also found out. Hikigaya Hachiman came to Jiangnan at some point, and he whispered, I don't know. Jiangnan smiled slightly. Hikigaya Hachiman still had dead fish eyes, looking at Tobsho, who kept talking in front, and continued. It will be rejected, and Yishan must know it. What are you going to do? Old 8, are you relying on me? I'm so touched. Jiangnan suddenly pretended to be very touched. If it were you, you would definitely be able to do anything. It turns out that I'm such a great image in your mind, old 8. Jiangnan covered his chest with a smile on his face. Hikigaya Hachiman lowered his head slightly. He couldn't be as good as Jiangnan. Even though Jiangnan was a troublesome problem child. You must have seen what Ebina really thought. Jiangnan looked at the girl standing in the crowd in front of him. She always listened to Tobsho's endless words with a smile. Just listen quietly. Old Hachiman, do you know? Most of the people here are here for love. There is even a famous confession holy place here. If there must be an ending, then the ending is there. Jiangnan spoke lightly, with a hint of riddle. Hikigaya Hachiman thought about Yugahama Yui's plan. Indeed, Yugahama's plan is to confess there. Jiangnan, then what do you think the success rate is? Hikigaya Hachiman thought about this question silently. It should be only 10%. Jiangnan shook his head. You are still too optimistic, old Hachiman. No wonder you were ejected at the beginning. In my opinion, the success rate of confession is infinitely close to 0. Hikigaya Hachiman frowned. They are friends, and the relationship shouldn't be infinitely close to 0. Jiangnan chuckled. Everyone has a secret in their heart that they must never tell. Too close a relationship will expose the secret. When you are not ready to expose the secret, you will subconsciously resist people who are too close. Subconsciously guard against those who can expose your secret. Ebina obviously doesn't want his secret to be exposed. If Tobsho gets too close, it will only make Ebenheim stay further away from him. Chapter 167, Hush Money. Hikigaya Hachiman's heart sank. The reason Jiangnan said might be the reason why Ebenheim wanted everyone to stop Tobsho from confessing. Okay, Hachiman, we are on a school trip now. Don't think about those troublesome things. Be happy. Jiangnan patted Hikigaya Hachiman's shoulder. Hikigaya Hachiman turned his head slightly to look at Tobsho, who was chattering in the crowd. Enjoy the school trip, but can he really do it? The night came quickly. Hiratsuka Shizuka quietly prepared to leave the hotel where everyone was staying. As a teacher, you are not allowed to leave casually. You have to keep an eye on your students. As soon as you go downstairs, a hand is placed on Hiratsuka Shizuka's shoulder. Jingjing, where do you want to go? The teacher is the second guardian of the students, and running around is very rude. Hiratsuka Shizuka's body stiffened. She was seen by the person she least wanted to see. Among the people she knew, there was only one person who liked to call her Jingjing. Jiangnan. Hiratsuka Shizuka turned her head with difficulty. Jiangnan had a smile on his face, and Kato Megumi followed him as usual. Jingjing, if there is no hush money, Shizuka Hiratsuka covered her forehead. I'm really impressed. Let's go together. Jiangnan turned to Kato Megumi after hearing this. Look, there is a free meal here. Thank you, Mr. Hiratsuka. I'm sorry for making you spend money. Kato Megumi said politely. Looking at his polite student, he looked at the problem child Jiangnan. Damn problem child, why do you have such a good friend? Jiangnan said proudly. Jing, I'll be embarrassed if you praise me like this. Asshole, I'm not praising you. The three of them were about to walk out the door, and then I saw two people sitting on the sofa at the door. Hachiman Hikigaya and Yukinoshita Yukino. Shizuka Hiratsuka was speechless. Isn't it just sneaking out to eat ramen? Why are so many people watching? Except for you Gahama Yui, all the people in the service department have arrived. Shizuka Hiratsuka rented a car nearby and took everyone to have a big meal. Jiangnan ate very happily and he treated every delicacy seriously. On the way back, Yukinoshita said with a headache. Teacher Hiratsuka, this is not a good behavior. Jiangnan said with a smile. It's all over if it's exposed. Hikigaya Hachiman was also a little worried. By the way, is it really okay for the teacher to do this? Jiangnan, it's okay, Leobei, if you don't say it, and I don't say it, who will know? Besides, we are students, even if we are criticized, it must be Jing who will push it up. If Shizuka Hiratsuka was not driving, she would definitely hit Jiangnan on the head with a knife. I've given you hush money, so don't talk nonsense. Okay Jing, no problem Jing. Jiangnan gave a thumbs up. It's a new day again, and the morning sun is still so bright. In the room, Jiangnan opened his eyes. Get up. There were boys sleeping on the floor all around. There were tatami mats on the floor of the room, and there was not much difference between sleeping on the floor and sleeping on the bed. Next to Jiangnan was Totsuka Reika. Next to Totsuka Reika is Hikigaya Hachiman. The two are very close. Next to Hikigaya Hachiman is Zamakusa Yoshiki, who came to play last night and ended up sleeping here. Jiangnan got up and started to wash up. A new day brings a new life. Then everyone woke up one after another. After breakfast, they started a new trip. Yugahama Yui chose a haunted house. Haunted houses are most likely to have couples, because fear will cause a suspension bridge effect, which will make people mistakenly think that they are moved. In a haunted house, boys can also show their masculinity and attract girls. The layout of the haunted house is quite attentive, and the staff who play the haunted house are also very dedicated, although not as good as Chendachu's haunted house. If you enter Chendachu's haunted house, it is estimated that you will be lucky if you don't come out lying down. The students on the school trip were in groups of 3 or 5, laughing and shouting continuously. But how can there be laughter in a haunted house? Jiangnan and Kato Megumi followed at the end of the team. Although Kato Megumi had no expression on her face, her trembling hands betrayed her. As a boy, he should have taken action at this time. Jiangnan grabbed Kato Hui's trembling little hand. Let's go. Thank you. Kato Hui lowered her head and said softly. How about I sing a song for you to liven up the atmosphere? Jiangnan said with a smile, completely ignoring the terrifying atmosphere around him. At this time, a girl ran over holding a prop head. Come and catch me, Xiaoming. Akatsuki followed behind Hinabata Yoshiko with anger in her eyes. You idiot, stop now. And Akatsuki followed behind a person. It shouldn't be called a ghost, a headless ghost. This headless ghost is obviously a staff member in the haunted house. His head was taken away by Hinabata Yoshiko. The three jumped up and down, scaring the people around them. Especially the head in Hinabata Yoshiko's hand that was constantly dripping with blood. That prop was the same as the real thing. Yugahama Yui in front was so scared that she grabbed Hikigaya Hachiman's clothes tightly. Jiangnan pulled Kato Hui aside. Would an idiot be scared? Probably not. Look how happy she is. Hinabata Yoshiko climbed up a pillar as fast as a monkey. Ha ha ha, come and catch me. Akatsuakara directly picked up a broken arm prop from the ground and smashed it towards Hinabata Yoshiko's head. Hinabata Yoshiko dodged flexibly. It can't hit me. The prop broken arm bounced a few times and then fell into Kawasaki Saki's arms. Kawasaki Saki was a classmate that Hikigaya Hachiman had helped before. It was just that Jiangnan was doing things in another world during that time. Kawasa Kisaki was also one of Hikigaya Hachiman's few friends. Although they rarely communicated normally, some friends were like this and didn't need too much communication. Kawasa Kisaki looked at the broken arm in her hand and her whole body stiffened. She closed her eyes, threw her arm anywhere, and started to rush forward. Don't run around. Hikigaya Hachiman wanted to follow him, but he was held tightly by Yugahama Yui. Finally, after a flurry of activity, everyone left the haunted house. Akatsuki Akira took the idiot Anabata Yoshiko to apologize to the staff of the haunted house. It was so rude. It's finally over. I was scared to death. Yugahama Yui patted her chest and said with heavy breathing. Jiangnan didn't feel anything. Ghosts can't scare him. Not to mention it's fake. Even if it really comes, in Jiangnan's eyes it's just a little jerk. He can kill it with one hand. How was your fun? Hoo hoo. Jiangnan let go of his hand. Yeah, it was fun and interesting. Kato Megumi spoke lightly, but you can see that she is very happy. Chapter 168, Friendship. Tobsho and Ebinaheim were selecting things in the store next to the haunted house. On the surface, the conversation between the two seemed harmonious and happy. But Hayato Hayama was not very happy to see this scene. Time was passing. The final ending was a confession. Now time was approaching the ending. Hayato Hayama knew what the ending would be, but he could not change it. The ancient mansion in Kyoto, which was once the home of a great man in ancient times, has now been transformed into a scenic spot for everyone to visit. Here everyone met Yukinoshita Yukino, who was also visiting. After meeting, everyone greeted each other. At the silent corner, Yukinoshita Yukino asked with her arms folded across her chest. How is the commission going? Because they were not in the same class, Yukinoshita Yukino could not follow the whole process. How should I put it? It's still quite difficult. Yugahama Yui said a little embarrassedly. Hikigaya Hachiman said lightly, if you are too radical, you will be disliked. Is that so? Yukinoshita Yukino fell into deep thought. But there is really no good way at the moment. Alas, I'm sorry to leave all these things to you. Yugahama Yui waved her hand and said quickly, it's okay, don't worry about Zyakusu. In fact, there's nothing to do. Jiangnan spoke at this time. Yukinoshita Yukino looked confused. What do you mean? Just let it go, we are not the only ones working hard. Jiangnan's tone was flat, as if he was talking about something very ordinary. Sure enough, you did something, right? Yukinoshita Yukino said very sure. Who knows? Now that the school trip is halfway through, it's time to focus on yourself. There is not much point in working hard now. You should think about what else you haven't done, such as bringing some local specialties to your family. Jiangnan spread his hands. Now is not the time to reveal the mystery. Hikigaya Hachiman, I remember, Komachi seemed to ask me to bring her something. Soon everyone separated again. Night is approaching, and another day of travel is over. Hikigaya Hachiman and Jiangnan walked together. This time there were only two of them. Hikigaya Hachiman suddenly spoke. Can you tell me? Jiangnan, what? What did you do? Hikigaya Hachiman has already prepared his own self-destruction method, but he won't use it until the last step. Damn, who knows? Is that so? Hikigaya Hachiman fell into deep thought. Jiangnan suddenly thought of something and showed a surprised look. Do you want to create a world where only you are hurt, Leobei? Damn, Leobei, you are too great. Hikigaya Hachiman. The two quickly came to the convenience store. Jiangnan looked at the refrigerator with drinks next to him. What do you want to drink, Leobei? Do you want coffee? If you drink coffee, you can have a long talk with Totsuka tonight. Hikigaya Hachiman pointed to the green tea next to him. This one. Then I'll choose the fat otaku happy water. Jiangnan took 2 bottles of water and prepared to go to the counter to pay. I said, can we talk? A crisp female voice suddenly came from behind the two of them. The female voice gave people a feeling of being a little high and mighty, like a queen. Jiangnan turned his head and saw the blonde beauty Yumiko from Zion-chan group standing behind them. Hey, isn't this the kid who cried because of my beating last time? You are so annoying. Yumiko Miura stamped her feet and said angrily. It was obvious that she was still upset about the last incident. If possible, she didn't want to have too much interaction with Jiangnan. Talk. The two of us? Jiangnan pointed at himself and Hachiman Hikigaya. Yumiko Miura nodded. Outside the convenience store, the light illuminated the darkness through the glass. The three people who would never meet stood here like this. Yumiko Miura spoke first. I said, can you please stop interfering in other people's business? Why don't I understand? Jiangnan said casually. He looked like he deserved a beating. Yumiko Miura took a deep breath and made herself look a little calm. Can you please stop interfering in the matter of Ebina? Hachiman Hikigaya frowned slightly. He thought about the complexity of this matter and that someone would come to him. But he didn't expect it to be Yumiko Miura. Jiangnan narrowed his eyes like a fox. I didn't do anything. I'm obviously doing it. I'm not blind. Yumiko Miura was a little angry. Jiangnan, what if I refuse? What can you do? You seem to be unable to do anything, right? You guy, do you think it's so fun to destroy other people's friendships? Yumiko Miura is not stupid. She noticed the abnormal atmosphere in her group, especially Ebina Hina, coupled with the intentional or unintentional assistance of the service department. This made Yumiko Miura feel a crisis. The queen who is high above actually cherishes her friends very much. She doesn't want the friendship in her group to be destroyed. Oh my. Don't make me sound like an unforgivable villain. Don't you think so, Hachiman? Jiangnan put his arm around Hachiman Hikigaya's shoulders. Hachiman Hikigaya nodded. Yumiko Miura was very angry. Just as she expected before she came, she didn't like the boy who once hit her with a tennis ball and made her cry. Because the other party can always take the initiative on their side. Even if you are well intentioned, your behavior has caused trouble for others. Miura Yumiko continued. Hikigaya Hachiman explained at this time, but someone wants us to do this. The one here is naturally Tobsho. Miura Yumiko frowned, then sorted out her emotions and spoke slowly. Then listen carefully. I didn't want to tell you about this kind of thing. Ebina is quite popular with boys when she doesn't speak. Many people want me to introduce Ebina to them, but every time I introduce Ebina, I will refuse very tactfully. Ebina never mentions herself, and I won't ask specifically. She probably doesn't like others to ask her about her. As for me, I feel very happy now, so can you stop meddling? Miura Yumiko said what she was thinking. Maintain the current relationship and stagnate. Simple happiness. Your idea reminds me of a very interesting existence. She pursues eternity and unchanging, which is very similar to your idea. Jiangnan said. We pursue eternity, but the world is constantly moving forward. The world itself is a variable, and eternity never exists. Miura Yumiko, what do you mean? Don't worry, the ending I wrote is perfect, just relax. There won't be any trouble. Jiangnan always has a smile on his face, as if he is in control of everything. Chapter 169, The Secret That Cannot Be Told. Miura Yumiko left. She got the answer she wanted. So what are you going to do? Hikigaya Hachiman asked. I won't do anything. Just like Miura said, don't meddle in other people's business. Jiangnan didn't plan to do anything, but others might not. Hikigaya Hachiman wanted to say something. Jiangnan spoke up. Everyone has one or two secrets that can't be told. Why bother pursuing those things? It's annoying. See through, don't tell. This is the rule of friendship that even children know. A new day. Everyone continued to be silent in the school trip. Arashiyama in Kyoto is a famous confession site. There is the final ending. Jiangnan stood under the huge story eye. Majinman. He thought of Hashirama's sealing technique. At this time, Ebina came over. Hello, hello, hello. Jiangnan waved his hand. Jiangnan classmate, are you having fun? Super fun. Jiangnan said very happily. Then Jiangnan classmate shouldn't have forgotten about me. Don't worry, it won't be a problem. Jiangnan said, but he hoped that Tobsho could take over this green hat. Hey, hello. At this time, Yugahama Yui ran over. Hina. Hello, hello, Yui. Ebina waved with a smile. The two girls gathered together and chatted enthusiastically. Jiangnan turned around and left quietly, without taking any clouds with him. Enjoy the rest of the school trip, don't worry, leave everything to me. He left a handsome bag. Yugahama Yui had a question mark on her face. Hina, what were you talking about just now? Ebinaheim showed a faint smile. Nothing, just discussing where to go sightseeing on the school trip. Yugahama Yui looked puzzled. But, Haim and Jiangnan are so familiar. We are classmates. Ebinaheim quickly perfunctorily passed it over. Bamboo forest. The green bamboo forest is interspersed with a winding path. On both sides of the path are special stone lanterns. The breeze blows, and the bamboo forest rustles. This is Arashiyama, a holy place for confession. At night, when the lights are on, there will be couples flowing on the dim path. And this is the place where the service club chooses to confess. The 5 people of the service club came here. It's a very good place, wonderful scenery, it is worthy of being the holy place for confession in Kyoto. Jiangnan said with great admiration. I said this place must be very suitable. Yugahama Yui was very excited. She looked at Hikigaya Hachiman, and it was obvious that she was also looking forward to something. But as everyone knows, there are 3 illusions in boys. I can do it, I can fight back, and she likes me. Hikigaya Hachiman once became a great teacher without friends because of this illusion. He hates gentle girls because gentle girls always give him one of the 3 major illusions in life, that she likes me. Cement seals the heart and becomes autistic from then on. This is Hikigaya Hachiman. It's really a good choice here. Yukinoshita Yukino also thinks this place is very good. Hikigaya Hachiman glanced at Jiangnan with a smile. He knew that something unexpected would happen tonight. Dusk always appears inadvertently. By the river, Jiangnan quickly edited a text message with his mobile phone and sent it. After a few seconds, the other party replied. After seeing the content of the message, Jiangnan nodded with satisfaction. You are here. I don't know when. Hayato Hayama stood behind Jiangnan. I'm here. Hayato Hayama said. You shouldn't come. Hayato Hayama. Okay. What's wrong with just joking? Jiangnan turned around and said. Hayato Hayama's eyes were determined. Please, classmate Jiangnan, if it were you, you would be able to solve this matter perfectly. Hayato Hayama bowed, which is the etiquette of asking for help. Jiangnan smiled and said, it would be fun if a cute girl asked me to do something like this. Hayato Hayama was a little helpless. Although he had known that Jiangnan was a problem child, he was still caught off guard by such a sudden change of words. The atmosphere was so serious. Please stop this matter from going any further. This is my personal commission. Hayato Hayama took a deep breath and said slowly. Is that so? But personal commissions are charged. I owe you money now. If one day I have something to ask you, you can't refuse. If you agree, I will accept your commission. Jiangnan said that he would not take advantage of the opportunity that was delivered to his door. Okay. Hayato Hayama agreed without hesitation. Night fell. The bamboo forest was shrouded in darkness. The orange light shone on the winding path. Tobsho stood in the middle of the path a little nervously, waiting quietly for Ebinaheim. The others stood at the intersection, behind Tobsho. The atmosphere was so intense that it would be unreasonable not to confess. Time passed by minute. Everyone was waiting anxiously. Only Jiangnan seemed to have anticipated the result, with a happy smile on his face. Just when everyone was waiting anxiously, a girl came over. However, it was not Haim Ebina. Oh no, there is a strange person entangled with Haim. Everyone was stunned, and the romantic atmosphere that was finally created disappeared in an instant. Confession actually requires courage. Some people may never say those 3 words in their lifetime. When courage isn't sufficient, the atmosphere is needed to create excitement. After all, the atmosphere has come to this point. It would be unreasonable not to confess. Everyone ran in the direction the girl said. But when they arrived at the place, everyone was stunned. A very handsome boy knelt on one knee, his eyes full of tenderness and love. This is a boy who is no worse than Hayato Hayama in temperament and appearance. Who is this person? It is Hinabata Yoshiko in men's clothing. Although Hinabata Yoshiko's IQ is like that of a monkey, and even her way of thinking is like that of a monkey, she is perfect in other aspects. Ebinaheim looked at the boy she didn't know in front of her with some surprise. Your beauty surprises me. Nice to meet you, my lovely princess. I'm Yoshio. Night. Soft lights. Affectionate boy. The atmosphere was instantly set off. This is several times stronger than the atmosphere created by Tobsho just now. Jiangnan thought in his heart. As expected of you, Monkey King. Ebinaheim was a little surprised and puzzled. She tried hard to find the boy's figure in her memory, but there was no figure at all. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170, The Non-Existent Person. Shame. Very shameful. This statement is no less than standing in the crowd and shouting, "I believe in light, transform into Tigger." However, Hinata Yoshiko can say it so gently without changing her expression. Even a girl with a very high emotional intelligence like Ebinaheim can't stand it. When pursuing the same girl, rivals will subconsciously compare with each other. This is a habit engraved in the genes. In ancient times, there were no moral constraints. Only more outstanding humans can win the favor of the opposite sex. This habit is engraved in the genes with evolution. Tobsho subconsciously compared himself with Hinata Yoshiko's men's clothing. The result is naturally a complete defeat. That is not inferior to Hayama Hayato's appearance. Gentle temperament like a prince. Love revealed in conversation. These are all things that Tobsho can't compare. Tobsho lowered his head, like a defeated dog. Ebinahina said nervously, "You are not kidding." Hinata Yoshiko blinked her lively eyes, and her beautiful eyes stared at Ebinahina's eyes. How could it be? At this moment, stars seemed to appear in the background. The atmosphere was set off to the extreme. "I'm sincere, classmate. Everything about you attracts me." Hinata Yoshiko's eyes were full of tenderness. Jiangnan knew that this guy forgot the lines and forgot Ebinahina's name. "I used to not believe that there is love at first sight in this world until I met you. Everything about you attracts me." Hinata Yoshiko gently took Ebinahina's hand. "Everything about you is like a banana, beautiful and delicious. No matter what time it is, even if it is about to rot, I will eat it all. I will accept everything about you. This is love." Jiangnan. But in this atmosphere, even Ebinahina couldn't say such particularly harsh words. "Your beauty, your gentleness. I believe most boys will fall in love with you when they see you, but they lack the courage to kill you with one blow. And I decided everything when we first met." The light shone on Hinata Yoshiko's body and covered her with a golden dress. Tobsho lowered his head even tighter. The girl he liked was confessed by someone else, but he didn't even have the courage to do it. "Please date me, classmate." Hinata Yoshiko said that. At this moment, everyone was worried. "I believe no girl can refuse such an excellent boy." Ebinahina took a deep breath, and after a long silence, she said, "I'm really sorry, I can't accept your confession, because now I don't want to date anyone. No matter who confesses to me, I won't agree." "Really? I didn't expect that. I missed it." Hinata Yoshiko slowly stood up, then turned around, and left a mysterious figure to everyone. "Dear princess, one day the story will continue." Hinata Yoshiko's figure gradually became blurred, and finally disappeared in the darkness. Ebinahina glanced at the people in the distance. Everything that should be said has been said, and everything that should be conveyed has been conveyed. It's time to go back. No one knows what happened, except for one person, Jiangnan. The story ends here. Tobsho can no longer say those words. Knowing that the confession will fail, even he will temporarily give up. Look, the world where no one is hurt is complete. As for the rejected Jiasheng, that is a non-existent person. Since he is a non-existent person, how can he be hurt? Hikigaya Hachiman looked at Jiangnan. "Is this your way? When did it start?" He thought in his heart, but he didn't understand what kind of boy could make such a bold confession and still accept it calmly after being rejected. Jiangnan noticed Hikigaya Hachiman's gaze and raised his eyebrows at him. It seemed to say, "Look, I can solve everything without you getting hurt." Ebinahina turned and left. Tobsho hunched his waist in disappointment. Hayama Hayato smiled and patted his shoulder. "Maybe the time is not right yet. Isn't it good now?" Tobsho could only nod helplessly. Everyone was Mongolian. They searched for the boy's face in their memories. but no one had seen him. How could a non-existent person be seen by others? Yukinoshita Yukino looked at Jiangnan, but there was a bit of confusion in her eyes. If the ending was already predetermined, then what was the purpose of all the efforts she and Yugahama Yui made? When did Jiangnan arrange everything? Let's go back. Hayato Hayama left with his friends. They were noisy and returned to the way they were before. Let's go too. The commission should be considered over here. Jiangnan had a smile on his face. Sometimes the answer is not important, and the result now is good. Yukinoshita Yukino is a smart girl. She didn't ask anything else. Yugahama Yui was Mongolian the whole time. Hikigaya Hachiman saw that the problem was solved and didn't say anything more without exposing himself. Everyone returned to the hotel where they lived one after another. The school trip is over. Everyone was making a lot of noise in the square, and no one noticed that Jiangnan quietly left the crowd. The two grades had different trains. Taking this opportunity to settle the bill, in the rest area on the second floor, Hanabata Yoshiko and Akatsu Akira sat on chairs and waited quietly. Hello. Jiangnan walked over. This time Hanabata Yoshiko did a good job, although she forgot the name of Ebanaheim. Hello. Hanabata Yoshiko was very excited. Jiangnan took out 6 very exquisitely packaged bananas from his school bag. The extra one was a reward. The color of the banana was perfect, and it was a standard high-end banana, big and delicious. Banana. Hanabata Yoshiko excitedly opened a banana and stuffed it into her mouth. It's so delicious. Is this the taste of a high-end banana? The idiot shed tears of happiness. Akatsu Akira on the side was speechless. Xiaoming, this is for you. Jiangnan took out an exercise book, which recorded many homework exercises and important knowledge points for the first grade, some of which the teacher had never taught. Is this for me? Akatsuki Akira took the exercise book and opened it. The beautiful handwriting recorded various important knowledge points. Akatsuki Akira has been studying very hard since he was a child, but he can never get full marks. After all, there is a fool around him, and it is a contagious fool. In this case, Akatsuki Akira can still maintain the top 10 grades. It's really hard. Anyway, goodbye. Jiangnan waved and said goodbye to the two. Goodbye. Akatsuki Akira said. Chapter 171. Peaceful Life. After returning from the school trip, nothing has changed. Life has to go on. Just do what you have to do. The service club was as calm as usual. Everyone read books and ate food. What happened during the school trip seemed to have been revealed. Knock, knock, exclamation mark. There was a knock on the door. Yukinoshita Yukino raised her head slightly, and the door opened before she could speak. The only person who opened the door so impolitely was Shizuka Hiratsuka, the instructor of the service club. Teacher, I have told you many times that it is very rude to come in without saying hello. Yukinoshita Yukino put down the book in her hand. Shizuka Hiratsuka said with a smile. Don't mind it. By the way, I have something to talk to you about. Does Jingjing have something to talk to us about? Jiangnan asked in confusion. Shizuka Hiratsuka waved the information in her hand. This is a record of club activities for this quarter. See if anyone has time to help deliver it to the student union. These things need to be approved, especially the activity funds. Running errands. Jiangnan glanced at everyone and thought of the two idiots in the student union. The second and third place in every second grade exam. I often study hard to surpass myself. People always unconsciously focus on the first place. It's like most people only know that the highest peak in the world is Mount Everest. Unfortunately, the two fought each other to the point of bloodshed, but neither of them surpassed Jiangnan. There is no way. The gap between humans and immortals cannot be made up by hard work. I'll go. Teacher, I haven't seen those two guys who always follow me for a long time. Hiratsuka Shizuka put the information in his hand on the table and said with a headache. If Shinomiya and Shirogane knew that you said this about them, they might be very angry. Jiangnan spread his hands. But I'm telling the truth. They have never surpassed me in any exam. They always follow me. I really don't know why a problem child like you can study so well. Is there something wrong with the brains of geniuses? Hiratsuka Shizuka said helplessly. No, I'm a genius. Even geniuses can't compare to me. Jiangnan picked up the information on the table and sorted it out. I wonder if those two idiots have made any progress in that area, but I'm very happy about it. Jiangnan stood up with a smile. Then he left the service club. Yukinoshita Yukino looked at Jiangnan's back and asked, "Teacher, is Jiangnan familiar with the student union? How should I put it? More like a sworn enemy, but you should also know Jiangnan's personality. He should be more like a friend to him, and you may not know that Jiangnan once served as the president of the student union." Hiratsuka Shizuka covered her face with her hands. Yukinoshita Yukino had a question mark on her face. She could hardly imagine what Jiangnan would look like as the president of the student union. The whole school would be in chaos. Everyone's expression was similar. Because of Jiangnan's eccentric personality, no matter how you look at it, he doesn't look like someone who can run for the president of the student union. But teacher, I remember that among those who ran for the president of the student union, it seems that Jiangnan was not there. Yukinoshita Yukino asked. Because it was not a formal process, it is normal that you don't know. It should be last year. At that time, the first year students had just entered school, and Jiangnan was a first year student. When the first year students entered school, all the stories had not yet begun. Kato Megumi is as low-key as usual. Hikigaya Hachiman was in the hospital after a car accident. Jiangnan, who had just enrolled, wanted to make trouble, and it happened that the former student union president graduated from high school. So Jiangnan relied on his backdoor relationship to become the student union president. There are two ways to become the student union president. One is to canvass for votes and the other is to be recommended by teachers. Jiangnan directly asked the principal to take all the votes of the teachers. Unfortunately, after working for a month, Jiangnan didn't want to do it anymore because he wanted to skip classes and go out to play. The principal seemed to have expected it, so he started the election of the new student union president without saying a word. The election was announced in one day. This person was Shirogane Yuki, a freshman in the same year. In the end, Jiangnan threw a bunch of things to Shirogane Yuki and skipped classes. The first month of freshmen's enrollment is basically busy building their own small groups or looking for their favorite clubs to join. So few people know that Jiangnan has also served as the student union president. I never thought that such a thing would happen. Yukinoshita Yukino said with her finger on her chin. Hiratsuka Shizuka nodded. Are you surprised? Yes. Yukinoshita Yukino was indeed surprised. Jiangnan stood at the door of the student union. A silent battle was going on inside. It should have been more than half a year. I don't know what's going on. Jiangnan said with a very bad taste. On how to stay single when two people are in love. Whoever confesses first is a grandson. Such things often happen in the student union office. Among them is the troublemaker, Fujiwara Chika, who was called the cancer of the earth by Shinomiya Kaguya. It is a miracle that Fujiwara Chika is still alive. Knock knock. Jiangnan knocked on the door. However, there was no response. Jiangnan pushed the door open without hesitation. An awkward atmosphere came to his face. What happened? Jiangnan said with a smile. President Jiangnan. Shirogane Niyuki said subconsciously after seeing the person coming. Don't call me that. After all, I'm just the predecessor. Jiangnan glanced at Shinomiya Kaguya. Shinomiya Kaguya was processing the documents of various clubs. I came here to deliver the documents. Hey, Miss Shinomiya, put the documents here. Jiangnan placed the documents in his hand in front of Shinomiya Kaguya. Okay. Shinomiya Kaguya often shows the appearance of a tall lady in front of outsiders. In fact, people who know her know that she is a fool. Jiangnan narrowed his eyes and made trouble. Shirogane Yuxing seemed to think of something bad and trembled. What a man. Jiangnan glanced around and said. Ishigami works at home. Shirogane Yuxing said. Is that so? Shirogane, I remember you have been single all the time. This is not good. Socializing is also a part of life. How about I introduce you to some beautiful girls? Shirogane Yuxing's hand froze while writing the document. Shinomiya Kaguya's eyes were a little cold. Jiangnan said, as if he didn't see it. I believe that many pretty girls would like to make friends with the student union president. Student Jiangnan, the president is usually very busy and doesn't have extra time to deal with messy friendships. This will only waste the president's time. Although Shinomiya Kagawa's tone was very calm, her eyes were really cold. Is that so? But, even if you have extra time, it seems that you have never defeated me. Jiangnan showed a very bad smile on his face. Chapter 172. The real man appears. It's over. It's really over. Ishigami stood outside the student union room, cold sweat dripping down. Run. He was still holding the process documents in his hand. Obviously, he came here to deliver the documents, but he could feel the atmosphere coming from the student union office. It was an extremely terrifying atmosphere. If he went in, he would be torn to pieces in an instant. I'll die. I'll definitely die. Ishigami turned around and prepared to leave, but someone stopped him. Why don't you go in, Ishigami? It was Fujiwara Chika. Beautiful face, always with a silly smile. Long pink hair draped over the shoulders, with a small bow tied on the forehead. The proud figure and towering peaks always make people wonder if she has grown too much. Ishigami's pupils shrank. Because in his eyes, Fujiwara Chika is also a very dangerous existence. No, you can't go in. But Fujiwara Chika did not give Ishigami a chance to leave. She pushed the door open without hesitation. Hello everyone. Ishigami you can no longer run away because 3 pairs of eyes are already staring at him. The teasing in Jiangnan's eyes, the numbness in Shirogane Yuxing's eyes, and the murderous eyes of Shinomiya Kagawa. Oh my, isn't this a real man and the cancer of the earth? Ishigami Yu was a little stunned when he saw Jiangnan. Because in his eyes, Jiangnan is a more dangerous existence. He will never forget how he joined the student union in the first place. In order to let him join, Jiangnan used some not so good means, and also helped him get revenge. Long time no see, President Jiangnan. I haven't seen Ishigami classmate for a long time. You are still the same as before. Ishigami Yu instantly wilted. It's the previous student union president. Fujiwara Chika said happily. Secretary Fujiwara is still so beautiful. Jiangnan smiled and greeted. Really? Really? Fujiwara Chika touched her face and smiled innocently. Shinomiya Kagawa took a deep breath and tried to calm herself down. Although Jiangnan's provocative words were harsh, what he said was true. Shinomiya Kagawa had never won over Jiangnan in terms of grades. She only won over Shirogane Uaoki once in a while. But Shinomiya Kagawa was not a good person who would not fight back when provoked. She glanced at the information Jiangnan placed in front of her. Then she reached out and picked it up. She didn't need to do anything, just be a little stricter than usual. Seeing this scene, Jiangnan smiled. Hey, come on, Secretary Fujiwara. I heard recently that the president and vice president of the student union are very close. Are they dating? Shinomiya Kagawa's hand suddenly froze, and then she glanced at Shirogane Uaoki. The same was true for Shirogane Uaoki. As long as Shirogane Uaoki was mentioned, Shinomiya Kagawa would lose her mind. Really? Fujiwara Chika loved the topic of love the most. Shinomiya Kagawa lowered her head. No one could see that her cheeks turned crimson. It seems so. But I don't know much. Fujiwara Chika, do you know? Fujiwara Chika glanced at Shinomiya Kagawa. I don't know much about this. It's not a secret relationship. You see, when I talked about this topic, Shinomiya stopped working. Jiangnan said with a look of doubt. Shinomiya Kagawa's mind was in a mess at this time, and her mind was full of secret relationships. But she didn't want to be seen, so she started to work stiffly. Jiangnan smiled slightly. Shinomiya, is this wrong? The funds should be doubled. Yeah. On the other side, Fujiwara Chika was very excited. What is a secret relationship? The so-called secret relationship, for example, after Shinomiya and Shirogane Miyuki are dating. Shinomiya Kagawa didn't know what she was doing at this time. Jiangnan said, while directing Shinomiya Kagawa to review the materials of her club. Continue to apply this year, yes, increase the funds, will not disband, and give priority treatment. Ishigami watched everything calmly, seeing Jiangnan in control of everything. Shinomiya, wake up. Ishigami roared in his heart. In the end, the club materials that Jiangnan brought were reviewed. Very good, very good. After doing all this, Jiangnan showed a strange smile. but everything I said is based on the relationship between Shinomiya and Shirogane, but it seems that I misunderstood. I think Shinomiya and Shirogane are not dating. Shinomiya Kaguya suddenly woke up. Wait, what did I just do? Jiangnan waved the information in his hand with a smile. Since the information has been reviewed, I will leave first. This information needs to be handed over to the teacher. Are you leaving now? Fujiwara Chika didn't know anything. Of course. Jiangnan left very happily. It was really fun. After Jiangnan left, Shinomiya Kaguya looked at Shirogane Miyuki. President, what's going on with Jiangnan? Shirogane Miyuki said with a headache. Shinomiya, Jiangnan is like this. He fooled me here in the same way. Ishigami said the same. The two of them were the helpers that Jiangnan found at that time. Although Jiangnan was capable of handling the affairs of the student union, he was too lazy to deal with them. Humph. Shinomiya Kaguya was a little angry. Ishigami shook his head helplessly and then placed the information in front of Shirogane using. If the president is fine, I will leave first. Teacher's office. Shizuka Hiratsuka looked at the approval information in her hand with a surprised look on her face. Why are all the best ones given here? Secret? Jiangnan showed a mysterious smile on his face. You won't bully them, will you? Shizuka Hiratsuka said with some doubt. Am I that kind of person? Besides, who dares to bully the student union? Jiangnan smiled beautifully. Shizuka Hiratsuka could only put the information away helplessly. Then I'll leave first, Jing. Goodbye. Jiangnan left the teacher's office happily. Go home. Jiangnan was ready to go home. Walking on the road, Jiangnan stretched. This kind of daily life is very comfortable, but it's a bit boring. Sure enough, the restless heart will only have a moment of peace after finishing the work. Walking on the road, Jiangnan suddenly saw Hachiman Hikigaya. Just when he was about to say hello, he saw a girl smiling and talking to Hachiman Hikigaya. That smile was mocking. Hikigaya Hachiman lowered his head slightly. It just so happens that Yishan still owes me a favor, so let him pay it back. Jiangnan took out his mobile phone and sent a message to Yishan. After sending the message, Jiangnan walked up. Hey, what are you doing, Leo Bei? Who is this little beauty? Hello. Jiangnan put his arm around Hikigaya Hachiman's shoulders and greeted him enthusiastically. The girl didn't seem to expect such a person to appear and was stunned for a moment. Since he is Leo Bei's friend, he is my friend. How about going for a cup of coffee together? The girl wanted to refuse. Jiangnan smiled and said, do you want to refuse? I also invited Yishan to come over and play. Chapter 173, Give You Face. In the coffee shop, Jiangnan quietly sent a message to Yugahama Yui and Yukinoshita Yukino. Leo Bei is in danger. Come to help quickly. Location, street corner coffee. As for Kato Megumi, it is better not to let her see what happens next. Hello. I'm Leo Bei's good friend Jiangnan. Jiangnan had a smile on his face. Hello, I'm Morimoto Kori. The girl also had a smile on her face. She was the one that Hikigaya Hachiman confessed to in junior high school. It was also because of this girl that Hikigaya Hachiman became what he is now. Soon, Hayama Hayato came, and the good show was about to begin. With the arrival of Hayama Hayato, the girl became happy. Hayama Hayato looked at Jiangnan. Jiangnan motioned him to sit down. Everyone drank coffee and chatted. Gradually, the girl talked about Hikigaya Hachiman. She laughed at Hikigaya Hachiman as usual. Hikigaya, will you still choose something that no one else would choose? Orimoto Kori smiled happily. Jiangnan took a sip of coffee and thought to himself. Laugh hard. I hope you won't cry later. It's totally inappropriate. Only you, Hikigaya, can choose this kind of thing. Hikigaya Hachiman stared with dead eyes and looked indifferent. I see. Hayama Hayato showed a look of disgust on his face. Well, Hayama, you also think Hikigaya tastes weird. Orimoto Kori didn't feel how hurtful her words were. Maybe she was used to it. Hikigaya Hachiman felt like she was back in junior high school. It's really quite rude. Jiangnan said softly. Yes, that's right. How can you drink this kind of thing? Orimoto Kori didn't realize that Jiangnan was talking about her. Hayama Hayato no longer concealed his disgust and spoke. I don't like this, and I don't like you doing this. Orimoto Kora's smile suddenly froze. Jiangnan's eyes were full of mockery. You haven't realized it yet, have you? You are such a rude guy. You hurt my friends with words, and laughed at my friends. Who gave you the capital? Was it your 2 taels of meat on your chest? How pathetic. Jiangnan's words became sharper and his eyes became colder. Hayato Hayama didn't seem to expect Jiangnan's words to be so hurtful. Laughing at others wantonly is not much different from being an irrational beast in my eyes. Why do you feel it's natural to hurt others? Jiangnan stared coldly into Kori Orimoto's eyes. Kori Orimoto wanted to explain. She explained that everyone did this. When she was in junior high school, the whole class mocked Hachiman Hikage like this. It's so hard to get what you want. How can you lose it so easily? There is a price for a girl to hurt others. Do you want to try it? Jiangnan threatened directly. Kori Orimoto stood up in fear. I'm leaving. Hayato Hayama stared at her indifferently. At this moment, 2 beautiful girls came in. Zaoki, Yugahama Yui greeted happily. Yukinoshita Yukino also turned her head to look over. Why are you all here? Hayato Hayama smiled and greeted. Girl, let me introduce these 2 to Leobei's friends. Leobei is no longer the guy you said he had no friends to bully. If Leobei is bullied, someone will help him. Yukinoshita Yukino looked at Orimoto Kori coldly. The strengths and weaknesses of the 2 were revealed in an instant. What do you want? Orimoto Kori suddenly felt that it was not a good thing for her to come out alone. It's very simple. Apologize. Don't you have a mouth? Don't you know what to do when you do something wrong? Yugahama Yui was a little shocked. She had never seen Jiangnan so aggressive. In the end, Orimoto Kori apologized. But the girl seemed to be crying when she left. Why are you running away? Pay for your own coffee. No one here will buy coffee for a guy who likes to bully others. Jiangnan said loudly when Orimoto Kori was about to leave the cafe. Boss, someone wants to run away from the bill. Don't you do anything? Seeing that Kori Orimoto didn't move, Jiangnan continued in a louder voice. The coffee shop is a quiet place, and such a loud voice directly attracted the attention of others. Everyone's eyes fell on Kori Orimoto. These eyes were looking at her, disdainful, contemptuous, and watching the show. The sharp eyes pierced into Kori Orimoto's body like a knife. At this moment, Kori Orimoto experienced a brand new emotion. This emotion was experienced by Hachiman Hikage all the time. In the end, Kori Orimoto had to bite the bullet and pay the bill and leave. Sure enough, only when we are in the same environment can we understand. Just like Nagato's idea in the Naruto world. Only when everyone feels the pain can we understand the meaning of peace. A bag of rice has to be carried to several floors, and a bag of rice has to be carried to the 2nd floor. Let's feel the pain together. After Kori Orimoto left, most of the people around her withdrew their eyes, and only a few people looked at Jiangnan. Jiangnan stared back without any regrets. The legendary social bullshit. I just want to ask you if you are afraid of it. The noisy coffee shop gradually quieted down. Everyone sat at the table and their eyes fell on Jiangnan. Jiangnan was not embarrassed at all. Sit down, sit down, sit down. I'll treat you today. Soon new coffee came up. Shouldn't you explain it? Yukinoshita Yukino said lightly. I'm helping my brother. Besides, I didn't do anything. I just let that girl experience the daily feeling of Leobei. Who knew that she couldn't stand it just at that moment? You know, Leobei has been holding on for many years. Jiangnan spread his hands, very helpless. Yukinoshita Yukino rubbed her head. At the door of the coffee shop, Jiangnan said goodbye to everyone. Yukinoshita Yukino and Yugahama Yui left. There were only 3 boys left at the scene. Is this really okay? Hayato Hayama asked. It's nothing, isn't it? For someone like me, it's just a little help, but now we don't owe each other anything. Jiangnan said casually. Hayato Hayama, I obviously didn't do anything. No, your presence here explains a lot of problems. I believe that girl has remembered you in her heart. Jiangnan knew Hayato Hayama's character. It was good enough for him to do this. But as for being a bad guy, Jiangnan said that he was still very good. Isn't it just a hobby? It's not like I haven't done it before. Then I'll leave first. Hayato Hayama also left. There were only 2 people left at the scene. Okay, Leo Bay, I should go too. Hikigaya Hachiman opened his mouth and finally spit out 2 words. Thank you. Ha. I didn't hear it clearly. Speak louder. Hikigaya Hachiman's mouth twitched a little, and he could only speak louder. Thank you. You're welcome, Leo Bay. Jiangnan patted Hikigaya Hachiman on the shoulder and left. Only you can bully your friends. No one else can bully them. Chapter 174. Newcomers. Jiangnan was bored when he got home. He opened the chat group. Everyone in the chat group was busy. Is it because there are not enough people? Jiangnan thought to himself. So he clicked to send the message. Group leader Jiangnan, why are you sleeping? Get up and have fun. Mingfei, no, group leader. I've been playing games all night recently, and I can't take it anymore. Group leader Jiangnan, you stay up late every day to cultivate immortality. No wonder you are so weak. Mingfei, Namikaze Minato, good evening, group leader. Group leader Jiangnan, woohoo, what is the 4th Hokage doing? Namikaze Minato, cooking at home. Jiangnan, Minato, you are such a great man. You can go to the battlefield and go to the kitchen. You are both civil and martial, and you have unique skills. Namikaze Minato, why? _carrot, why? At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, group leader, good evening. Group leader Jiangnan, Mr. Yoriichi hasn't slept either. At Tsujikoku Yoriichi, I can't sleep for the time being. The weather is cool at night, which is suitable for practicing swords. Mingfei, you are worthy of being a teacher. Group leader Jiangnan, it's so peaceful. Saitama, would you like to come over to my place to play? Group leader Jiangnan, weird guy. Not interesting. By the way, have you met your apprentice? Saitama, Genus. I met him. He's a very interesting guy. Group leader Jiangnan, fund warrior. He never won a fight, but never lost when pretending to be cool. He may not be the most powerful, but he must be the one who burns the most funds. Saitama, actually, Genus is also very powerful, but the enemies he meets are all very strong. Group leader Jiangnan, come on, all enemies can't withstand 1 punch from you. If they can, then 2 punches. Saitama, Mingfei, group leader, aren't there a few people in our group? How about some new people? Group leader Jiangnan, yeah, it's okay to have some. Mingfei, great, there are new people. Jiangnan touched his chin and thought about it. It's indeed time to let new people join. The invitation letter has been refreshed a long time ago. It's just that Jiangnan has been doing things in other worlds and was a little busy, so he didn't invite new people. Come on, let me see what the new world is like. I'm looking forward to it. Jiangnan clicked on the group mall and bought 4 group member invitations. Use. Jiangnan chose to use it without hesitation. The invitations floated into the world of the universe, looking for the destined person. Soon the invitation was successful. Group owner Jiangnan invited the magic girl to join the chat group. Group owner Jiangnan invited Yandy to join the chat group. Group owner Jiangnan invited Dad. Where are we going to join the chat group? Group owner Jiangnan invited General Fei Peng to join the chat group. In the quiet town, the girl with long white hair slowly woke up. A blue window suddenly appeared in front of her. Group owner Jiangnan of the World of the Universe chat group invited you to join the chat group. What is this? The white-haired girl subconsciously clicked OK. Then a chat group interface popped up in front of her. Elia, come down for dinner. The girl heard her brother's call and hurriedly closed the chat group and started to wash. Her beautiful appearance was reflected in the mirror. Red eyes and white hair. Little holy grail Elia. This world is the world of the magical girl Elia. Fighting power stage 3. Xiao Yan looked at the 5 dazzling characters on the stone tablet and laughed at himself. The genius who was once high and mighty has now fallen and become a loser. The middle-aged man next to him glanced at the information on the stone tablet and announced it to the public indifferently. Xiao Yan. Fighting power stage 3. Level. Low level. Useless. Rubbish. What a waste. If it weren't for his father, such a loser would have been driven out of the family long ago. The laughter from below continued. Xiao Yan was extremely angry, but unfortunately, in this Dalki continent where the strong are respected, the weak have no say. Xiao Yan left here with bitterness on his lips. Xiao Yan gradually went away in the laughter of the crowd. Damn it. 3 years. Why has it become like this? Xiao Yan clenched his fists, his nails embedded in the palm of his hand. At this moment, a blue box appeared in front of him. The owner of the All Heavens and Worlds chat group, Jiang Nan, invited you to join the chat group. Xiao Yan is also a time traveler. He recognizes this kind of box. It is an invitation box of a chat group software. After hesitating for a while, Xiao Yan chose to agree. How bad can the situation be? He is just a waste now. Hunter World. Xiao Ji sat on a big tree and fished quietly. He wanted to take the hunter exam, get a hunter license, and then find his father. But to take the hunter exam, he must catch the swamp master. He has been here tirelessly for a week. Just then, a box suddenly appeared in front of Xiao Ji. The owner of the chat group of All Heavens and Worlds, Jiang Nan, invited you to join the chat group. What is this? Xiao Ji reached out curiously and clicked on it, then clicked on the agreement. The world of the legend of Sword and Fairy. Yuzhou City. Jingshan, the reincarnation of Fei Peng, the first god in the heaven, was in Jiang'an pawn shop at this time, gently wiping the dust scattered on the antique with a feather duster. Compared to the once high-ranking general of the god realm, Jingshan now undoubtedly looks more like a frivolous young man. Just then, a fat man ran over. Boss, I'm here. The man was Jingshan's good brother Mao. Go play somewhere else. Don't bother me. Jingshan shook the feather duster in his hand. Jingshan. At this time, Jingshan's assistant He Biping came over. What are you thinking about? He Biping asked. Recently, I always feel uneasy, as if something is going to happen. Jingshan found a chair and sat down, then took out half of the jade pendant from his pocket. This was something that suddenly appeared in his hand when he made a wish. When he encountered the meteor shower last night, he could see that it was an old object, but he didn't know where it came from. Just then, a strange blue box suddenly appeared in front of him. Jiang Nan, the owner of the All Heavens and Worlds chat group, invited you to join the chat group. What is this? Jingshan looked at the blue box in front of him curiously. Boss, what is it? Mao came over curiously. It's this blue thing. What is it? Unfortunately, the others couldn't see it at all. He Biping sighed. Jingshan, are you daydreaming again? There's nothing in front of you. Impossible, I clearly saw it. Jingshan rubbed his eyes and found that the blue box in front of him was still there, so he stretched out his finger and gently touched the blue box. Super Seminary was temporarily postponed, and Hunter x Hunter was added. Chapter 175. Newcomers Photos. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Welcome newcomers. Welcome newcomers. Warmly welcome newcomers. Mingfei. Welcome newcomers. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. At Tsujikoku Yoriichi. Welcome newcomers. Namikaze Minato. Welcome newcomers. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Old rules. Old rules. Newcomers post their photos first. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Let me show you the good looking ones. Mingfei. Namikaze Minato. Why don't the newcomers say anything? Mingfei. Don't scare the yondame. Don't forget that we were not much different back then. You cheat Tsujikoku. Newcomers still need to adapt, but if you have any questions, we old timers can answer them. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Post photos. Post photos. Mingfei. Group Leader. You are too enthusiastic. Group Leader Jiang Nan. New group members represent a new world and new fun things. Minato Namikaze. I always feel that the group leader is a little strange in some way. You cheat Tsujikoku, but the group leader is a good person. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Ding. I received a good person card. Yandy. Hello everyone. I'm a newcomer. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Woohoo. Some people are talking. Yandy. What's going on now? Group Leader Jiang Nan. Ding dong. Your gold finger has arrived. Time traveler. Yandy. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Yandy. Is that Xiao Yanzi? Yandy. I'm not a eunuch. Group Leader Jiang Nan. 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. Don't look down on the poor young man. You are Xiao Yan. Emperor Yan. You know me. Group Leader Jiang Nan. Of course I know the protagonist of the broken engagement story. Who doesn't know him? Emperor Yan. By the way, what is this? Mingfei. As you can see, this is a chat group that connects chat groups in different worlds. We are not from the same world. Group leader Xiao Yan, you are a time traveler, so I don't need to explain too much. Emperor Yan, you know this too? Group leader Xiao Yan, hey. General Felipeng, what kind of monsters are you? Group leader Xiao Yan, another newcomer is speaking. General Felipeng, who are you? What do you want to do? Mingfei, I didn't expect the newcomer to be a general, an ancient general. Group leader Xiao Yan, let me see. Hey, isn't this Jingshan? My childhood. Mingfei, Legend of Sword and Fairy. Group leader Xiao Yan, yes, it seems that your childhood and my childhood are the same. General Felipeng, what the hell is going on here? Group leader Xiao Yan, to put it simply, this is a chat software that allows people from different worlds to chat with each other, and it also has some cheating functions. Emperor Yan, cheating? What kind of cheats? Isn't that awesome? Group leader Xiao Yan, of course it's awesome. The Dalki continent you're in is just a lower level world among countless worlds. It's no problem to become the best in the world by using a cheat for 3 years. If you're lucky and win a grand prize in the annual lottery, you can instantly control the heavens, the earth, and the air. Emperor Yan, are you kidding me? Group leader Xiao Yan, I'm not kidding. There are still many awesome worlds on the Dalki continent. The Dowdy at the top of your world is just a starting point. Emperor Yan, really? General Felipeng, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Group leader Xiao Yan, look, there's a 9-legged fish here. Mingfei, group leader, they lived in ancient times. Group leader Xiao Yan, speaking of the legend of Sword and Fairy, I think of the moon worshipper. I told you that the earth is round, but you said I don't understand love. Just give me infinite love. Mingfei, where are we going? That, a chat group connecting different worlds, sounds awesome. Group leader Xiao Yan, who is this new guy? Where are we going? Dat, I'm Xiao G. Feelishi, G. Group leader Xiao Yan, I see. Everyone please change your name. I've written some things about the chat group in the group announcement. Please take a look. General Felipeng, announcement. How do I read it? Group leader Xiao Yan, just think about it. Xiao Yan used his power a little bit and checked the world everyone was in. Interesting, interesting. Looks like there will be something fun to do next. The world of Chinese Paladin has newer. I wonder if the heavenly Dao there is fun or not. And there are magical girls. As everyone knows, ever since a certain old Yorubachi started writing, magical girls have become a high-risk profession, with all kinds of evil, cruel, perverted, and high-risk professions. By the way, in this world there is also the giant warrior Emiya who cleared the entire Holy Grail war overnight for his sister. Hunter x Hunter. It's a pity that before I traveled through time, that old thief Togashi was still on hiatus, playing Mahjong every day, and falling in love with our country's quintessence. He really should be locked up in a small dark room, and forced to update as much as possible. The protagonist of the broken engagement, Xiao Yan, is not strong in the Dalki continent, but is connected to the world. It must be fun. Don't bully the poor young man, because of his 30 years of luck. This reminds me of the 3-year agreement. 3 years later, at the Yunlin sect, the Dao Emperor will fight against the Great Dao Master. Group leader Xiao Yan, photos posted, photos posted. Elia, hello. Elia sent her own photo. Mingfei, oh my god, Elia is so cute. Group leader Xiao Yan, at this time, Jin Shanshan, an enthusiastic citizen passing by, wants to say something from the heart to you. Elia. Mingfei, group leader, is this the little holy grail Elia I know? Group leader Xiao Yan, yes and no, this is Elia from another world line, which is considered a happier world line. Mingfei, please tell me more. Group leader Xiao Yan, you also saw that Elia's photo looks like an elementary school student with a backpack. She is very cute, very beautiful, and very good looking. In the world line you know, Elia can't be an elementary school student. Elia, but I'm an elementary school student. Group leader Xiao Yan, in other world lines, you are the elder sister. You are Shirao Miya's elder sister. Elia, oh, am I the elder brother's elder sister? Xiao Yan, great. I just opened the group mall. This time I will definitely be able to break through the 3rd stage of fighting power. Mingfei, group leader, should I tell him the truth? Group leader Xiao Yan. Hey, my good man. Today's update is explosive, and tomorrow's update will be explosive. The grandson behind me is only 3 votes away from anailing me. Please support me with monthly tickets. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.